Aria charts. Every number one for rated thread in the press. Ow! Every number one on the Aria chart. Every number one for rated thread in the press. Every number one on the Aria charts. Every number one for rated thread in the press. Ow! Every number one on the Aria charts. Every number one for rated thread in the press. And every thread in the press. Wow! Yowza!
Hello, I'm Ben.
Hello, I am Tom.
And you're listening to Sunglasses at Night podcast. The year is 2007.
It sure is. This is the podcast where we put on our time Ray-Bans and travel back to a year in the past and have a look at it, musically speaking, via the lens of the ARIA charts, the Australian Recording Industry Association charts, and the number ones contained therein for the year, as you say, 2007.
Absolutely. Now, big year, 2007. I guess they all are. There's no years where no events happen, I assume. So some bigger than... Yeah, exactly.
Definitely.
So what was the big thing of this year, Tom? Just paint a picture for people.
Well, the iPhone was launched. $150 million in development money on a concept that some might say already existed. Some also might say had major problems and cost $1,100 in today's money.
Yeah.
But it did come in a sexy box and sold 1 million units in 3 months. Similarly, the first Tesla Roadster was shown at motor shows this year. Not an original idea either. Sexy box, taking hundreds of orders before going into production next year. A model that Tesla continues to follow to this day.
Yeah.
I think, you're allowed to buy that Cybertruck the day after it came out online. Like, you could go on their website, cash out for it. They haven't even started fucking making those yet. It doesn't even exist. This is an exciting new business model, Ben, and I'm interested to see where it goes.
Absolutely.
Some might call it a Ponzi scheme, but some might not,
I bought my son one of those Cybertruck, Hot Wheels made a Cybertruck or something, or one of the cars, and I bought that, and he's like, is this a real car? And I said, yes, but also they don't make it yet. And he's like, can we get one? I was like, look, I tell you what, we've got 20 years to save up probably.
Well, you are a brave man, Ben, because you've got hardwood floors, and I've seen what Archer does with toy cars.
Yeah.
And the thought of treading on a Cybertruck in the middle of the night,
absolutely.
Like, that thing's like one of those things that ninjas drop behind them to deter people chasing after them.
When they remake
There's
Home
no
Alone.
bit that's not pointy on the whole.
Yeah. I know, it's exactly. When they remake Home Alone, it'll just be Cybertrucks everywhere and be like,
right.
Kevin. But yeah, the iPhone, it's interesting. So that's 15 years ago. So the iPhone debuted 15 years ago. And it seems sort of, people might not understand, young people, but there was a period of time where all you could do on a phone was call someone and send a text message. And that was
true.
The total functionality of that.
This is true, although, as with the iPod...
Yep. This isn't an original idea.
Smartphones existed prior to the iPhone.
They were just shitter. Yeah.
I guess so, yeah. I mean,
it's functionality, though. I think when it comes down to it, though, sort of some of those early MP3 players were real clunky to use and difficult.
Yes, that's just true.
The interface, and it was the same, I guess, with the iPhone. Like, did it do anything new? Not really. It's got a camera in it. You can, go on the internet. Cool. But I guess the little apps that you clicked on and they made it look all nice with that iOS shit. So
that's true.
Yeah, but it's sort of fortunate timing as well, because we talked like 2 years ago that Facebook had just launched, wasn't it? A couple of episodes ago we talked about that. So if it wasn't for the smartphone takeoff, things like Facebook and Instagram wouldn't have taken off either.
Oh, true. Social media, You
used to have to check your Facebook. You had to sit down at like a PC and log in and see what, and then go, no one's done anything good. But now you can check it. People check it all day, I guess.
That's true.
But yeah, interesting. What else? What else happened this year?
Not too much.
Not too much, yeah.
A whole bunch of Americans got slaughtered by a whole bunch of other Americans with automatic weapons. Back then, this was odd enough that some of it was even on the news, if you can imagine.
Really?
For instance, the Virginia Tech massacre was this year, which now seems like a mere footnote in an average week. Did you know that 2020 was the first March of 2020 was the first March in America with no gun massacres since I think it was 2003
Oh, good.
because
That's
everyone
good.
was at home.
Yeah, everyone was, yeah. Lockdowns do work, Tom. They keep the death count
That's right.
down, not just for people getting and dying of coronavirus, but also mass shootings. So it's good.
The Swiss New Seven Wonders Foundation held a poll and announced the new Seven Wonders of the modern world.
Oh,
Do you know what they are, Ben, out of interest? Just in case, the ancient ones, the Great Pyramid of Giza, Colossus of Rhodes, Hanging Gardens of Babylon, Lighthouse of Alexandria, Mausoleum at Halicarnassus, Statue of Zeus, and Temple of Artemis. You might notice that of those, only 2 actually are still in existence.
what's the other one
Well,
apart from the pyramids?
No, I'm sorry. One of them is still in existence. The rest of them may or may not have even existed. Like
Yeah, exactly. It's sort of it's one of those things where when things happen before the internet, so before 1995, you're not sure whether it's real or not. So JFK dying, Jesus, all that shit, no one knows. So yeah, what are the new ones?
well, according to them,
Yep.
the new ones were, this was from a reader's poll
Okay.
not a reader's poll, a giant poll, a public poll. They came up with the Great Wall of China,
Yep.
Petra,
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Christ the Redeemer in Brazil,
Yep.
Machu Picchu,
Yep.
Chichen Itza, which is another Mexican temple,
Yep.
Aztec temple, the Colosseum in Rome, the Taj Mahal, and honorary candidates, the pyramids again.
Oh, there you go.
Now, the definition of modern must be pretty flexible because the newest thing on the list is 91 years old,
Yeah.
and Petra was built 100 years before the G-Man was even born.
That's crazy.
As for the pyramids, even older than that. So, what would you have nominated?
Oh, well, Crown Casino #1
Crown
obviously
Casino.
goes up there. So, look, I think... Well, you're saying they've gone pretty old in their modern, so I think I might
Yes, I don't
go
really...
a little bit more modern.
Yeah, I think we could go better than 91 years
Probably
ago.
that playground at the Bluff in Devonport, I think.
That
is
was pretty
pretty up there, certainly. God, you put me on the spot here, Tom. Just sort
Sorry, I
of
should
off
have
the
given
top
you
of my
a
head.
hint.
Should have given me a little bit of warning.
I would have suggested the electric motor at minimum. Maybe silicon circuitry, perhaps. Refrigeration, maybe.
But they're going for buildings, aren't they? They're not. They've kept it or structures. They haven't kept it.
Well,
so
it says wonders. I mean,
Yeah.
wonders, I guess that's a pretty broad definition.
what about a childlike sense of wonder? So,
Well, I would put Christina Applegate there as well.
Yeah,
and
that's
maybe
fair.
donuts
yeah,
too,
that's-
but,
look,
what do I know?
yeah, that's a tough one. But look, I can't. I'm not going to be mad at that. There's some good choices in there.
Christ the Redeemer in Brazil, that's pretty good, but you can't dip him in hot oil and cover him with sugar
No, that's true.
and eat him at lunchtime.
Exactly right. So look, I don't know, some good choices.
Movie of the year.
Yep.
The big movies this year, well, top 10. Number 1, Spider-Man 3. Number 2, Shrek 3.
Jeez, I love
Number 3, Transformers. Number 4, Pirates of the Caribbean 3.
Oh, jeez.
Number 5, Harry Potter 5. Number 6, Jason Bourne 3.
Oh, good.
Of the top 10 movies this year, 5 of them are sequels. One is a novelisation that's already been filmed previously.
Yep.
One is a comic book. One is a range of toys. And one is a cartoon sitcom.
Okay.
The only original film in the top 10 this year was an animated kids movie about a talking rat that yearns to work in hospitality. Ben. This sort of shit is why Hollywood needs Chris Rock getting bitch slapped to liven it up a bit.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Seriously, I was going to do Best Movie Song of the Year, and I shit you not, Ben, the only song that and I'm willing to bet anyone remembers from any of the top 5 films this year, 15 years later, is Homer's Spider Pig song from the Simpsons movie. That was looking at this list.
Okay.
Could you name a single song from any of this?
No, and here's the problem, I think. Look, number 9 is I Am Legend, which is the Will Smith film that we all know and love.
Inaccurately named.
And I think what we suggested with The Legend of Baggervance was that wouldn't have been a flop had it have had a song in it.
Exactly.
And I think much the same with this, if I Am Legend had have had a Will Smith rap in the film, it probably would have been number one of the year, I'd say, but it was missing that rap.
Hey,
so.
I mean, at least I remember Wiki Wiki Wild Wild West from Wild West.
That's it. But so that's okay. I've worked on one, Tom, and I'll insert it into the episode here, and then we can let people listening at home decide whether that would have projected this from a number 9 film up to a number 1.
I am legend, I am immune. Gotta find a cure so that I can get some poon. I am legend, I am alone. Gotta find a cure so I got some on the bone. I am legend, I'm not sick. Gotta find a cure so that I can use my dick. I am legend, I am alone. Yeah, gotta find a cure so that I got some on the bone. Bone. I am legend. Yeah, I am legend. I am legend. Come on. I am legend, I am alone. Gotta find a cure so I got some on the bone. I am legend, I am immune. Gotta find a cure so that I can get some poon. I am legend, I'm not sick. Gotta find a cure so that I can use my dick. I am legend, I'm the last man. Gotta find a cure so that I can see some cans. Cans. Yeah, gotta see the cans.
So people love sequels and they love the part 3s a little bit too much. I didn't realise. So
it was getting really bad. I remember a few articles around this era of people going, "What the fuck is going on with this thing?" And this was kind of pre the huge. It was at the start of the big Marvel thing, you know. So things haven't really improved. But even then, at least something like, Parasite can win an Oscar or whatever and be up there. Whereas, I mean, this is a dire list of shit. Seriously.
I don't think I've seen. I haven't seen Spider-Man 3. I haven't seen Shrek 3. I did see Transformers on a plane. Terrible. I haven't seen Pirates of the Caribbean. The World's End. I believe that one was.
I remember laughing at the Simpsons movie with my brother, but it was just like a 2-hour-long Simpsons episode, basically.
Yeah. I don't know. I've seen 300, Ratatouille, I Am Legend, and the Simpsons movie. So I have seen 4 of those.
I Am Legend starts out quite promisingly, and then it just drives off a cliff in a sponsored car of whatever brand was paying to have Will Smith drive around in it.
Yeah, exactly. I think, it wasn't great at the end.
One last thing, on a personal note, last week, if you remember, I was trying to make a joke about bribing someone using a $100 bill. And I said, what does Mr. Mawson have to say about this? Suggesting. Then I woke up at 3 a.m. 2 days later feeling stupid because I couldn't remember if it was actually Mawson on the 100.
Not anymore.
This is the kind of thing that goes through your mind when you don't have children so I checked and it was. So I felt validated for about 1.5 seconds before realising that this was on the old blue paper note, which was replaced by the green polymer one with Nellie Melba on it in 1996. So only 26 years ago, Ben. If any young people want a preview of what middle age feels like, it feels pretty much exactly like you feel now, except everything hurts a bit. You eat prescription drugs like Pac-Man, and shit like this happens to you on a more or less weekly basis.
Oh, look, I think to be fair though, Mawson will always be on the $100 note for me. So
well, that's who I think of.
Yeah, exactly right. I don't think of the Queen on the $5 note. I think of the Queen who was on the previous $5 note. That's the Queen I think of. So it all makes sense.
I think if people try to fold the Queen in half because supposedly you could make it look like a pair of tits or something.
Oh, could you? On the way here, Tom, I saw a guy with on the back of his calf, a tattoo on the back of his calf. It was a skeleton, a female skeleton, but she still had massive jugs. Which sort of
like made out of bones.
No, just actually. So she was full skeleton, but still had a skeleton face, skeleton rib cage. You could see skeleton legs, full skeleton, but still had the can. So that's the sort of creative license I like to see tattoo artists taking. I think so. Just give me what you got, and it's like I'd like a skeleton with put some tits on there. Why not? So shout out to that guy if you're listening. I love that. So cool. Songs, onto the songs?
Oh, please, yes.
All right, awesome. So, first week of 2007 is Beyonce Irreplaceable for 3 more weeks. We talked about that last week.
Huge hit, that song.
Huge hit, that one. So, we loved that more than most of the other songs last week because there are a lot of shit ones. I can't even remember if I liked that one. I remember thinking... That's the is that the Thugged Out ballad? There was some country style.
The Thugged Out ballad, yeah. It's not one of her best, but it was a massive... hit. It
Yep.
was like it was the record for.
Oh yeah, in
most
America,
length of
it's like
time
number
and
one for
number
like a
one,
million
yeah,
weeks.
It was huge in America.
Definitely. So that's 3 more weeks.
Weirdly bigger than a lot of her better number
Definitely.
ones. But yeah,
Put a ring on it, etc. All that shit. Yeah, we
it's
did
not
talk
a
about
terrible
that, so-
song, but it's not particular. It's not one of her
No,
best.
not one of the best. So first, new song of the week.
Ah, yes.
This is for 1 week. This is Evermore, Light Surrounding You. Now, so we've started the year off with some serious weak shit. Is that how you describe this?
Well, I would have, and then I got through a lot of the other songs this year, and by that, this sounds like a fucking stadium-filling arena
Yeah.
rock power ballad.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, it's not. It's sort of C tier, you know. It's too new to be real dad rock, but it sounds like it wants to be dad rock.
Exactly. Look, these guys are from New Zealand, and I've said, well, they're from New Zealand, and then they relocated to Melbourne. So, and I've always thought, is there anything more Australian than being from New Zealand? I think it's about as Australian as you can get.
It is.
Being from New Zealand, because if you're born in Australia, you haven't chosen Australia, you're just here. But if you're from New Zealand, you've actively come to Australia,
Yep.
you've chosen Australia, we've embraced that, you've selected that. So in many ways, New Zealanders are more Australian than Australians, I think. So that's a theory I've been floating for a few years. I'm not sure whether it holds water or not, but yeah.
Look, we were happy to claim them, usually.
Yeah, we are.
The Kiwis punch above their weight in music terms, generally speaking, like for a country with, Australia's population isn't very big, but New Zealand's is even smaller.
Oh, exactly.
But that doesn't mean that they can't produce Evermore as well.
Yeah, that's
they're
true.
no Dave Dobbin, I'll tell you that. Mate.
No, absolutely. Look, fortunately
In
for
fact,
us...
sorry, to
Yep.
their credit, I will say this only got to 15 on the New Zealand chart,
Yeah.
so even New Zealand wasn't that big.
They went, we don't want anything to do with this.
You
This
keep
is
it.
boring.
Well, it's like a Mel Gibson situation, though. Like you can have this. Yeah.
Exactly. So look, the Evermore story. They, as I said, they moved to Australia. They haven't
Yep.
released an album in 10 years. Thank fuck for that, because this is pretty shit. They had a few more top 10 songs in Australia. I didn't bother checking them out, as I've just arisen from the coma I was put in from Light Surrounding You.
Yeah, it's a lot like a sort of. If you don't remember it, it's kind of a lot like a sort of off-brand Coldplay.
Yeah.
Except he doesn't have Chris Martin's voice, and without that, frankly, you're not left with much.
No,
really. As the video suggests, a bunch of identically dressed white dudes in the middle of nowhere singing about lights for no obvious reason.
Yeah.
Like it's just this really barren video, which really doesn't, it really just serves to draw parallels with the music, to be honest.
Yeah, look, these guys supported Maroon 5 on the Australian leg of their
appropriate.
worldwide Overexposed tour, and that tells you everything you need to know about this band and this song, I think.
Yeah, if Maroon 5 were a wobbly cafe table, I wouldn't support them with a wadded up napkin, Ben.
No, absolutely not. I've got no time for them. I wouldn't want to support them. These guys have said, yeah, we'll jump onto that. Then it just shows the type of band they are. Boring piece of shit band. So the three members of Evermore are brothers.
Oh,
did you know
okay.
that?
I did not.
No, nor did I.
We've talked a lot about brother bands here.
Well, that's it.
another one.
So Evermore are obviously, for my mind, the worst musical brothers. Maybe the Jonas Brothers are probably equally shit. I think even the Jonas Brothers have some songs that, if they were on in a supermarket, I wouldn't be mad at them. But this is terrible. So if they're the worst, who are the best for you? Yeah.
Oh, you're all right.
I was going to say, for me, it's either Eddie or an Alex Van Halen.
Oh, that's a good call.
Or Bros.
Bros, yeah.
So, I don't know.
Two of them were Bros. I would vote for the Thompson twins, except they're not twins or indeed brothers. I'll have to go for Dimebag Darrell and Vinnie Paul.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Or out a Blacktooth Grin for those dudes. If there was any justice, we would have had 8 of their songs on here already, but sadly they never hit number one. They had number one album in America, but they never made it over here on that level.
Well, that's a shame. So, yeah, that's a good one, definitely.
I forget they're brothers sometimes because they don't look very similar and they have different surnames for some reason. I don't know why, but I'm sure there's some Southern American explanation for that.
I don't know if Dimebag's his real name, though.
No, but I mean, it's Darryl something, but his surname is not. It's not Darryl Paul.
No, but Vinnie Paul's last night. They're both Abbott. They're both.
Oh, are they? Oh, okay.
Daryl Abbott and Vinnie Paul Abbott, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought Paul was his surname.
No, they've just gone for crazy nom de plumes that sort of,
They love a weird name in some parts of
What do you think about, so when you've got a band and a couple of the guys go for the nom de plume and then a couple of guys just go for their regular name? How do you feel about that? Like, you got Necro Butcher on the bass and then the drummer's just like Steve. You're just like, do you have to be all in, or
it's like that Wolf Mother thing? It suggests that maybe you're going to be replaced for the next album. To me,
yeah, I think so, definitely. For me, if you're not all wearing the same costume, sort of thing, or if you're not all gone the stage name, then you're easily replaced, I think.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
I think that gave us a lot of hope when Limp Bizkit were very big, was that all of the band members seemed to be in different fucking bands.
Yeah.
Which made it seem like they might disband quite quickly, which was something
Not
we
soon
all had our
enough.
fingers crossed for.
Yeah, exactly. That
Wes Borland was definitely in a different band, and fucking what's his face, red baseball cap guy, he seemed to think he was a rapper of some sort, which was
that
hilarious.
was weird how Wes Borland would just wear crazy outfits and weird face makeup and be dressed up as something bizarre.
Yeah.
It's just like, does he know he's in a
He's in
terrible rap
Blood
metal
Vein or
band?
something. Yeah.
So, alas, anyway. So, 250,000 listeners on Spotify, so not very many.
Someone likes them.
Yeah, not many people though, which is good. $4 for this. That's surprising.
Wow.
I think that's one of the most, so they probably didn't make too many of this.
No,
they can't have.
I'm guessing
because
that wouldn't have planned. I wouldn't have thought this was going to be huge.
$4 is probably how much it cost at the time, so this has held its value quite well compared to most other things on there.
Yeah, that's probably what it cost at the time.
Could have, yeah. So what about the lyrics? There must be some stellar lyrics with this.
Sure. It was all written by one guy, Dan with two N's, Hume.
Okay.
And featuring real instruments played by real musicians.
Yep.
So
I'll give them that. Yep.
Yeah, the verses aren't bad. The verses aren't bad lyrically. They seem to be about reconnecting with an old flame, which is a bit odd, seeing as the Coldplay style power type chorus is. Because I see the light surrounding you, so don't be afraid of something new. Because I see the light surrounding you, so don't be afraid of what you're turning into. Now, unless I've badly misread the situation, then this sounds at best like someone trying to get back in the pants of somebody that he dumped by convincing her that everything will be different this time.
Yeah.
And at worst, like someone who's been secretly experimenting on the woman he keeps chained up in the basement, possibly with some sort of radium-based phosphate that causes her to glow in the dark and grow flippers on her tits or something.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping it's the former, and he's just, trying his luck.
Is she going through some sort of metamorphosis, or is that sort of turning into something new? Is that should we be taking that literally?
Well, the fact that he's telling her not to be afraid of it suggests that she probably should be afraid of it.
Yeah,
That's
I would say so.
why she's chained up in the first place.
Yeah. Look, great lyrics, great song. Anything else to say about this one?
No.
Cool. All right,
Let's
moving
move on to something with some balls.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. Less of that fucking weak shit. Up next is Hinder, Lips of an Angel, for 7 weeks.
Fucking hell, Australia.
Grunge ain't dead, baby. Now, look, some say grunge died along with Kurt Cobain back in '94, but here we are, 13 years later, and if anything, it's better than ever. What do you say?
Yeah.
For my mind, it is.
I mean, look, this song got me so amped that I went out and bought a 4th pair of Oakley wraparounds.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've already got 1 pair for my eyes, 1 pair for the top of my baseball cap, and 1 pair for the Humvee dashboard. But after 8 bars of this song, I knew I needed a new pair for the back of my neck.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely.
Yeah. Is that neck bred, Ben? Yes, it is. But less from ideology and more because at a fundamental level, I suspect that sunscreen is for homosexuals.
Yeah, look, for sure. Look, I think that goes without saying, Tom.
When I'm out on the jet ski, if I'm worried I'm getting suntanned, I just slap another pair of Oakleys on that area.
Yeah, I think that's what you should do, because if Pete Evans has taught me anything, it's that sunscreen's dangerous, Tom. So certainly I'd just get the Oakleys on there. So, look, it's good to see some fucking hard-as-fuck rock and roll back after the Evermore weak shit to start the year off. Is this post-grunge? Because I think grunge is early 90s. Post-grunge is somewhere in the late 90s where sort of,
Or even earlier, really.
Yeah,
but
Stone Temple Pilots, some people would say post-grunge.
I would have thought we were sort of even... that it was almost dead, like...
Yep.
like even the post grunge, but this is more like post Nickelback. But yeah, I know what you mean. It owes,
With Nickelback and
post
post-grunge.
something to grunge.
Yep. When I was living in the UK around this, probably around 2008, I think it was, Tom. I went to see a band, and the support band were definitely post grunge. The guy was up there, looked like dressed almost as if he was Kurt Cobain, doing a bit of, and then when he'd finished the gig, he jumped off the stage and like pushed past someone, and then like did this dramatic entrance and like sort of exit from the thing, and then like slammed the door, and it sort of, instead of it shutting, it just sort of swung back, and he was just sort of sitting in the stairwell, like really solemn, and sort of trying to do this massive like, I'm out of here, bitches, see you later, rock and roll ain't dead, and then he's just sitting on the stair, but with his back to the audience, so everyone's sort of looking at him, and he's just sitting there.
Yeah.
So that was one of the most rock and roll moves we've ever seen, so it was cool. I think he was crying as well, so there was definitely some hard shit going on. So, look, Hinder, though, dudes with shark tooth necklaces, suit vests and scarves are stoked on this.
100%.
So, look, that's a confusing wardrobe choice, I think, pulling from many sort of disparate styles, I think. Like, you've got the shark tooth necklace, like you're down on the beach. You've got that sort of suit vest and a scarf, like you're sort of Scott Whelan from the Stone Temple Pilots. Not really sure what's going on. Pretty confused. As I said, pulls from a lot of different styles, the same of which cannot be said for this song, which sort of pulls exclusively from 1992 Seattle, filtered through Nickelback, and then dialed up, the Eddie Vedder vocals about 100 times. So,
God, yeah, I know what you mean. It's like a fucking people paid out Stone Temple Pilots at the time.
Yeah.
They were like the first of like the maybe even post-grunge bands, although, I mean, they were out at the same time, but people used to pay them out for being like a douchier version of grunge,
And because they weren't from Seattle.
Yes, slightly fratty, and it didn't help that their first music video was, unfortunately, made it look like a bit of a Nirvana rip-off, but little did they know what was to come. I mean,
exactly.
If you played this shit to Bush, they'd look at you like John Lydon after Avril Lavigne skateboarded over his foot. I mean, this is, like, that's what I mean. I know what you mean. I think you're right that this is post grunge, but I don't even. I have just enough remaining respect for grunge to not even really want to associate it with shit.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you're right.
But I mean, it is obviously. It's
saying post grunge is probably unfair to grunge and to this song as well by affiliate. It's just rock. It's just it's mainstream rock and roll.
Yeah, or it's like dad rock with the awareness that it's been 15 years since Nevermind, and so some of the college frat boys who were listening to Nevermind are now dads.
Yep.
So they still want a bit of grunge in their dad rock. They need. So it's like a new generation of dad rock that's it's
definitely
just like grunge flavoured fucking.
Yeah. As for the song itself, though, would it have been as big of a hit, you think, if it had been titled Tits of an Angel? She's got the tits of an angel. Or even Clit of an Angel.
More imaginative.
Or Dick of an Angel. The song about Thai ladyboys that may or may not have been involved in the death of Shane Warne. So I don't know whether any of those titles... Maybe that was probably the original title. Tits of an Angel, and the record company said, look, we've got a hit on our hands here, we just got to change it to Lips of an Angel, and they went, okay, let's do that. And so the follow-up single to this was titled Get Stoned, and I don't know if you've listened to that,
God, yes.
but fucking oath. It sounds like a song that was written for recently divorced Stone Temple Pilot fans who wanted to still rock out to new music while cruising for chicks a decade younger than them in a KFC car park.
Yes,
it sort of has that vibe to it. And, I think the scarf's back, the vest back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get stoned.
That's right. You know what? It's not this isn't dad rock, it's divorced dad rock.
Yeah,
that's what
it is.
Divorced. I'm going back to my college self.
It's definitely third wife dad rock, I think. So,
and the video for that, holy crap.
Yeah, that was the video for this isn't great, but the video for that is
Get Stoned. Jesus.
Yeah, so the decision to release this was made during the quote, Tom, the Girls Gone Wild trek, when Hinder drummer Cody Hansen received a phone call from Universal, a senior A&R guy. This is how the story goes. The executive asked Hansen to look out in the crowd and see what fans particularly liked so they could get some feedback about what the next single should be. So it's not a bad idea. The drummer's there, he's drumming along, he looks out in the crowd, they're playing their songs, he's trying to get feedback on what the crowd reacts to, so that could be the next single. So this is what he had to say. Everyone and their mother are shitting their pants about Lips of an Angel. It's biker dudes in leather and 18-year-old girls. They're all going nuts for it. Now, there's a lot about that story that's simply untrue, Tom. No biker dudes in leather were going to Hinder shows.
No.
That just did not happen. Look, can you honestly see Hell's Angels with face tattoos and skullets hitting up a Hinder show? Just going, she's got the lips of an angel. The only reason they might be there, and I say might, would be to sell methamphetamines, I think. And when Hinder played Lips of an Angel, was everyone literally shitting their pants? Is the song just so bowel-moving that the audience collectively shat themselves? I can't believe this. If Hinder were doing a charity show for irritable bowel syndrome, maybe people would be shitting themselves if that's the only people in the crowd had irritable bowel syndrome. But out of that context, I don't think anyone's shitting themselves over this song, and there's no leather bikers there.
I know what you mean. I thought about this. The only thing I could think of was that maybe it was like an outdoor festival. They were playing too close to the Portaloos.
Yep.
And the drummer got confused between Lips of an Angel and the sound of people shitting themselves.
Yeah, that's true.
Like he was, it was drifting over from the
He's
toilet
like,
area.
I can smell shit. People are shitting themselves to Lips of an Angel.
That reminds me of Lips of an Angel.
And there was a sort of like a Harley Davidson convention next door, and
That's
some
right,
bikers
which all
got
sound like
accidentally
people
got lost
shitting
or something, so that people are like, wait a minute.
Please explain to the kids out there what Girls Gone Wild was.
Well, that was the name of the Hinder tour, but
was it? Okay.
But Girls Gone Wild was like some sort of.
Oh my god! They named themselves after Girls Gone Wild.
So Girls Gone Wild, was it on? Was it MTV or there was some? It was like
I think it was
mid
like,
to late 90s where just chicks would just get fucking hammered and do stupid shit on camera.
Yes, and by get fucking hammered, you mean the people making the film got them drunk that they might take their tops off so that they could film them and then sell low quality VHS cassettes and DVDs.
Certainly like an American phenomenon of just trash.
Yes, and also just on the arse end of not everybody having the internet readily available to them and being able to just type tits and see some tits.
Yeah, exactly.
The idea that you might mail off for a DVD of some tits on the internet.
For sure.
It's kind of insane.
A lot of grifters involved in the tits industry.
So if you don't know what Hinder are like, imagine the kind of band that would name their tour after a already defunct series of child exploiting alcohol, quasi-legal mail-order VHS cassettes for people who don't have the imagination to think of some tits while they're masturbating.
Yeah, look, everything about that tour name is terrible. But look, it's on brand for Hinder, that's for sure.
Oh, it 100% is.
But to put this into context, Tom, this single, when it was released, so Lips of an Angel, it sold over 3 million ringtones. So it was a much simpler time. We talked about ringtone sales, I believe, back in the good old days of Axel F.
Come up again this year.
When people would pay money for ringtones, which seems insane now, but it was a $1 billion industry.
Like officially licensed ones too. Like you couldn't just get pirated ringtones.
Yeah, it seems insane to me. So
damn it! The only way for me to get Lips of an Angel by Hinder on my phone is to download the official version.
Yep.
So I guess I'll give them my credit card details. Hand it over.
Oh, absolutely. Now, look, I believe it was Dave Grohl of seminal hardcore band Scream. I believe he was in. He might have been in another band, but I can't recall who they were, as the media never mentions them. So anyway, he said that Liam Gallagher is the last true rock star. That's what Dave Grohl said. Now, that might be true, but for my mind, Hinder is the last true rock band.
I see.
Can you think of a rock band since 2006 that's had more of an impact on the charts than Hinder?
On the charts.
Is there anyone? Just in general. Is there anyone that's made a bit of...
Oh, creatively.
Yeah. Maybe 30 Seconds to Mars, maybe?
30 Seconds to Mars, possibly 3 Doors Down.
Yeah. Certainly 3 Doors Down.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Eve 6, I think.
Oh,
maybe.
yeah. Effervescence.
Who did that? Who did Semi-Charmed Life? That band.
Yes, those guys.
They made such an impact that
guys.
They blew their own name out of my mind.
Those guys and the Rembrandts who did the
Of
theme
course,
from
the
Friends.
Rembrandts,
Yeah,
yes.
so all big names certainly. Look, there may be some time if you are. I think at this time, that if you were making a mixtape for a chick. Okay, maybe you weren't making a mixtape, but you were sending a MySpace playlist to a chick. I can't really remember whether you could do that. I can't remember how MySpace worked. Could you make a playlist on MySpace and send a link to someone and go check out my MySpace
I think
playlist?
so, yeah. You could certainly put your music there.
Yeah, but yeah, so look, if you wanted to do that and you wanted to demonstrate to the recipient that yes, I'm a bad boy, but I'm also a romantic, then you would put this song on a playlist, I think. Is that a fair statement? You want to show that you love rock and roll and you're bad to the bone, but you have a sensitive side.
If your girlfriend lived in a trailer park, definitely.
Yeah.
Critical reviews of the album Extreme Behaviour,
Oh, no.
which this is from, were mixed to negative.
What?
Extreme Behaviour was, according to AllMusic, one of the worst albums of 2005.
Oh, no.
It was rated 2 out of 5 stars, which shows there must have been some other contenders, I guess. In its review of the album, AllMusic said that Hinder are so egregiously dull they appeal not to fans of music, but to fans of high fives.
Oh,
Which is, or I guess you could put it another way and say, Hinder appeal to the exact sort of people that would come to Nirvana shows and Kurt Cobain would see them and eventually kill himself.
yeah.
Because he hated them
He
so
hated
much.
his fans so much, yeah.
He hated one specific kind of fan, and yes. I believe
all
he
of
said
Hinder's
that
fans.
he was the one and he liked to shoot his guns.
Yeah. Look, it doesn't surprise me at all. So, look, they followed up Lips of an Angel with a track called Better Than Me, which honestly, that sounds like an off-brand Lips of an Angel.
good,
if you've
worse.
heard that one.
Worse,
Worse than
yeah.
this. So, reached number 11 in Australia. They lost their vocalist, which is a shame, as he was a real talent. She's got a lips of an angel. Not everyone can do that. They recruited a new guy who was able to get them to 22 in 2017 with a song called Making It Hard, which I assume is a song about biker dudes in leather and their penis at Hinder shows. So,
That seems likely, yes.
what are the lyrical highlights of this?
Well, unsurprisingly, there aren't many. Did you ever imagine that there would be a weaker, shittier version of Nickelback, Ben?
Oh, I didn't.
I mean, I would not have thought it was possible.
I didn't think it would be, but
thought that was
but
the-
Hinder
no.
demonstrated
Hinder
that
did,
you
yeah.
can always. The thing is, Tom, you can constantly water something down
Yes.
until you're at the level of water, and then you can no longer water
Then
that
you can
down.
start pissing in it.
Maybe you can find some lower quality water to dilute it even more. But
At this stage, like the version of the hard rock lifestyle that's being embodied theoretically in Hinder's music and Nickelback's music bears about as much resemblance to, say, the Rolling Stones. That 65-year-old suburban accountant riding a leased Harley Davidson at the speed limit in his brand new iron jeans from Big and Hefty does to one of the original sort of feral, shell-shocked 20-year-old motorbike drifters left over from Omaha Beach. It's like a game of Chinese whispers, you know. In 1970, you start with, we come from the land of the ice and snow, from the midnight sun where the hot springs flow. The hammer of the gods will drive our ships to new land, to fight the horde and sing and cry, Valhalla, I am coming. On we sweep with threshing oar, our only goal will be the western shore. And by 2007, we're at, well, my girl's in the next room. Sometimes I wish she was you.
yeah,
Just a bogan on the phone, whispering to Sharon from Nando's, who's thinking of cheating on Barry Ann.
In the next room, sometimes I wish it was you.
delivered with that sort of gravel sort of action.
I would have,
so.
you know, the cliche would be say it's like a photocopy of a photocopy of a photocopy, but that's really being unfair to the Xerox Corporation, I think,
is.
you know, whose photocopying technologies produces better rip-offs than this shit.
Yeah, exactly. Look, this is no good. 2.5 million listeners.
Of course,
Hinder
of
still
course.
have on Spotify. I think based off the back of this, there's still fucking dickheads out there, Tom.
Oh,
They've
yeah.
not gone away.
No, it's like
and
I
they're
say,
making playlists
yes,
on
it's a
Spotify.
new generation of dad rock, and that new generation, unfortunately, like there's bits of some Nirvana songs are now A-list You know, they're now A-list classic rock, which is basically dad rock. You
Yeah,
know.
exactly. Look, so I
Time
think
to move on.
there's still dudes that want to make playlists with some emotional power on there, and this is going to be
The
on there.
question is, like, what's going to be dad rock for the next generation? You know? I mean, millennials are getting old enough to have kids. What are they
Yeah.
going to be, you know?
Yeah, well...
I mean, it's, you know, this era, really.
Yeah.
The shit that they were listening to when they're, you know, younger.
Yeah.
Like Britney Spears and stuff, I suppose.
yeah, exactly.
All the 90s stuff.
Yeah. I think the dad rock's going to be... We're going to find out at the very, very, very end of this episode, Tom. I'm going to let you know what some of the... This is dad rock, and there's a few coming up as well.
There is actually, yeah.
So, for
Yeah.
sure. So we talk
In
about that
fact,
later.
Even this next song might qualify.
Indeed. So, yep,
In Australia,
2.7,
certainly.
2.5 mil, sorry, on Spotify, $1 for this on Discogs.
It's 99 cents to
So, yeah, probably don't buy that. Just go buy something else. So, look, moving on. Next one, Tom, for 4 weeks, Silverchair, Straight Lines.
Yeah.
So, dudes in suit vests with nothing underneath are stoked.
I'll
on
take
this, so.
them. I'll take the dudes in suit vests with nothing underneath and a bit of eyeliner over
Yep.
the dudes in leather vests over
Exactly.
t-shirts with rock scarves.
Now, listeners to the podcast might be like, there's been a bit of a gap between No More Maybes, the baby's got rabies. I'm sitting on a ball in the middle of the Andes. I'm a freak of nature.
Oh, there
bit
was
of a gap
there
between
was
that.
Anthem for the year 2000, but that was 7 years ago.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that did make it to number 1 though. So, but
No, it was a hit on the radio.
Yeah, that's it. You're right. That was terrible.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. Number ones, yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Wild.
Speaking number ones, yeah. So that one, yeah. We are the youth. We'll take your fascism away. That's the worst song they ever made. I
You
think
really don't
it's
like that.
it's fucking so shit. Like one step forward with No More Maybes, the baby's got rabies, and 2 steps back with that. So, but look, this sounds nothing like their other stuff, as
No.
I mentioned. But what happens is it appears that this started out as a bit of a Daniel John solo project.
Yes.
So a lot of the songs off this he wrote with another dude who's not in the band, who was from
Yep.
some other band. I've forgotten his name. You might have done the research. But yeah, so this was going to be a bit of a Daniel John solo. But then the band, I think, got back together to play a few shows. They'd been on hiatus. And then after they played the shows, I think Daniel Johns was like, oh, cool, we're sort of, doing band stuff again. Why don't we record this as a Silverchair album? So then it came out. And yeah, under the Silverchair umbrella, but literally sounds nothing like anything they've done before.
It's a bit strange, isn't it? I mean, but even then, like, the songs written during Diorama, that was their previous album, I think.
Yep.
He wrote all of those tracks himself.
Yeah.
So, and...
I think he's written all of basically 99% of their songs, I think. So.
Yeah, well, yeah, fair point. This album, or at least this song, Straight Lines, was co-written by the Presets.
Oh,
Julian
that's
Hamilton.
who I was looking for.
But he was also doing a lot of work with, Paul from the Dissociatives.
Paul
as well.
Mack.
Paul Mack,
Yep.
who would often play, he would do the electronic stuff with them live.
Yep.
As you say, it became their first number 1 in Australia since Freak, and the first single from their 5th album, Young Modern.
Yep.
The album version doesn't feature the other members of the band at all, which must have been tough on you, on Ben Gillies, the drummer from Silverchair.
Oh, they didn't even play on the song, did they?
On the album, no.
Okay, wow. Jesus.
So, I mean, and even when you're listening to this song, you think there wouldn't have been a whole lot for them to do live, even. Like, it's not...
Yeah.
Just getting into that Radiohead territory where Tom York was like, I think all our songs should be mostly theremin and me leaning on a synthesizer.
Yeah,
in a
exactly.
strange
Or
way.
it's just like, what about me? I play the guitar. There's 2 of us that play the
Can
guitar. I
you
don't
make
play
the
drums.
guitar sound like a theremin?
Yeah.
'Cause otherwise we're not going to need you on this
I'm not
tour.
sure what happened in this song in particular. I can't remember. But the one thing that I hate is songs that have drum machines in them, but in the music video they've got a live drummer playing along to it. And it's just like,
God.
that's a fucking 808, bro. There's no one's
Yeah,
playing the drums
I
on
know.
this song. So
The videos do
Yeah.
it all the time too.
yeah, it's completely ridiculous. So look, the lyrical themes on this album, I think, focus less on babies with rabies, and I believe around this time Daniel was more into brown showers. Is that correct? Or at least that's what the Daily Telegraph would have me believe.
That was
So
the rumour they were pushing.
that
for
was the
some
rumour that they were
fucking
pushing.
reason.
So look, so if you missed this the first time around, I believe Daniel Johns had indicated he may never perform live again. So that's sort of something that he said, I think in the last calendar year, in the last few months, he sort of mentioned. So yeah, so if you didn't get to see Silverchair live when they were around the first time, you might have to wait for the hologram tour. Something to be said for dudes who make all their money they'll ever need from music by the time they're 30 and then just do it from time to time for themselves because they want to create something rather than just pumping out content every 2 years and performing live well past your prime.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I'm sure...
So that's what I'm saying. Daniel Johns, congrats to that dude. So.
No, I'm to be fair, I'm sure there are a lot of artists who would do that if they felt financially secure enough to do it.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
You got to have a few big albums. Like, even if Silverchair had come out now instead of... Like, musical taste aside, let's say they came out now and were as big of a success as they were in the mid-90s. I doubt they would have made as much money as they did back then.
It's all streaming bullshit, exactly.
Yeah, like, they might get famous, but I don't reckon that they would have generated that amount of income where you could comfortably, at the age of 30, go, let's put the band in hiatus for 8 years until I come up with something. You know?
And now he's just come out and said, look, I'll probably never play live ever again. Yeah. So he's just sort of like happy and content doing that.
And people like you, the drummer of Silverchair, like, your wife, she's psychic. She knows when the next tour's going to be. You don't even have to, pack a suitcase. You just sit at home while the royalties come in.
The royalty checks are coming in, exactly right. So look, so massive respect to Daniel Johns for getting out while the going was good, because there is nothing worse, really, is there, than people that are just like, your creative peak was 1998.
Yeah.
You're still going now. Every 2 years, here's out the new album, let's do the
Sounds
tour.
Just like
it's
the last
fucking
one,
the same garbage shit, and then it's just like, but I have to do this because I got to pay the mortgage. I didn't make enough money the first time around. So look,
from the 10 years prior to this, Daniel Johns made it fairly clear that he had very ambivalent feelings about being in the public eye at all.
Yeah, exactly.
And that he obviously didn't want to just keep doing grunge. Whatever you think of this music, whether you like this song or not, it's definitely not the same shit that they started out with.
Yeah, definitely. Look, I mean, does anyone really want to see Motley Crue play in 2022? I mean, for fuck's sake. They're doing more tours. They're going around. Vince Neil... I think if you just got any dude off the street and said, can you sing Dr. Feelgood, it would sound better than that guy.
They must be trying to cash in on that movie, right?
Oh, but they should have hung it up a long
and they must have made a lot of cash.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, surely they don't have to do it.
I know.
If you sort of had to do it, I mean, maybe the dudes are all divorced 3 times and they've got a lot of... ex-wives to pay off and,
I think 3
child
times
support.
Has been very generous to their respect for the institution of matrimony. But,
no doubt. Yeah. Do you think Mondrian's estate received any cash from Silverchair for the cover art? Is that...
If you haven't seen it, it's sort of a 3D Mondrian. I guess that's reflecting the title of Young Modern...
Yeah, ripping off Mondrian. Do you think... Do Mondrian's grandkids, are they living well, do you think? Off the royalties?
So.
Because... That dude gets ripped off all the time. There's a Mondrian-inspired apartment building in South Yarra. Have you seen that? If you get the train on the Sandringham line, you just sort of get out of the city and you're down about a stop, and the whole side of the building is like a massive Mondrian knockoff. So you can't copyright ideas. So if some property developer devoid of any ideas, and dare I say that's all of them, wants to Mondrian the fuck out of a new development, then I guess who's going to stop him? No one.
The trouble with Mondrian is that he reduced the essence of painting to such a simple, and some might suggest lazy as fuck basic essence that it became essentially uncopyrightable even at the time.
Yeah.
You can't really copyright black lines and primary colours. It's not... that's why all of my abstract expressionist work comes with an embedded NFT of my genitals where the hinder tattoo can be clearly seen, so it's there's no dispute about who did it.
For sure, my Mondrian knockoffs all have different band names written in each of the quadrants. So Hinder's in one of them, Coldplay, all my favourites. Four Non-Blondes, so yeah. Look, as I said, 4 weeks for this, 2.5 mil. Jesus Christ, 2.5 mil. So Silverchair and Hinder have the same amount of monthly listens on Spotify.
Yeah.
Something's gone awry there.
That's
What's
not
happened?
great. Is it?
This will cost you
Although
$3.
Silverchair haven't done anything for quite a
They
long time.
haven't. That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Whereas Hinder are just knocking
Kicking
out.
endless goals.
They are with their.
What the fuck am I talking about?
But Tom, remember,
Oh, sorry, you're forgetting.
making it hard,
Making
it hard in 2017. So they're still rocking about cock songs. So it's good. Lyrics.
Lyrically, well, the chorus, per the title, definitely seems to allude to a recovery from addiction or mental illness,
Yep.
walking in a straight line, Possibly the depression and anorexia that dogged Daniel John's early life, which is, most of it up till this point.
Yep.
On the other hand, this is also the guy who wrote Freak. So there are still verses like, something I will never forget, I felt desperate and stuck to the marrow, invisible to everyone else. I'm a sex change and a damsel with no heroin. Now, I believe that's a reference to that time he got bitten by a radioactive transsexual and turned into an invisible princess with an opiate addiction.
Yeah, that's probably
But
that.
I could be wrong. It is Daniel Johns we're talking about.
Yeah, definitely. We did talk about on Freak Show. There's that song where he does say "Welcome to the mass debate." So he just sort of he's always been a wordsmith. Tom, always sort of
He sure has.
playing around the edges of English. He's very sort of Shakespearean in a sense. I think sort of pushing language as far as it can go. So look, anyway, so I don't think we'll get to talk about Silverchair ever again because they haven't done anything.
Yeah, not for a while.
Thanks Silverchair, thanks for the memories. Good times. So maybe Daniel will pop up, maybe with some solo stuff at some
I'm
stage.
sure
Who
he'll
knows?
do
I hope so. Look, up next for 6 weeks, another long time. Avril Lavigne, Girlfriend. Now, Tom, this is whack as fuck.
Well, it is not great, is it? But it does, I hate to say it, but it does have catchiness.
Yeah.
I can see why a 14-year-old would like it. It's got
yeah.
that hollaback girl sort of snap to it, even though that song is probably better.
Yep.
But, yeah, personally it annoys me more for the lyrics and the attitude than the actual music per se. I re-listened to this and I was like, oh, God, I really wanted to hate this, but the actual song is not as terrible as it could be,
Yeah, of course.
Probably because by this stage she could just afford the best producer around,
Yep.
so they'll
Definitely.
dial back the shitty and push up that good slider.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. I think musically it's sort of it's a fun sort of song, but just the hey, you, I don't like your girlfriend, no way.
Yes.
Think you get a new one. Hey, you, I could be your girlfriend. Fucking so bad. Should have got someone to write the better lyrics on top. That would have been okay.
Yeah. This was written by Levine and Dr. Luke Gottwald.
Oh, Doctor, fuck that guy.
Yeah,
Okay.
with Dr. Luke also producing the track. The song was written while Levine was intoxicated, she claims, with Levine commenting that the chorus only took 2 minutes to write. So this is part of the Taxi Club. That's what I've decided to call the Stock Aitken Waterman wrote it in the taxi on the way to the studio.
Or I've called a taxi, and
Yes.
then by the time the taxi's arrived, I've knocked another song out. Yeah.
Now, who could have guessed? I'm sensing that Dr. Luke might be throwing some Dr. Shade there, e.g. that Avril Lavigne, drunk like most Americans off 2 cans of low-carb lager, yelled, hey, I don't like your girlfriend a bit, and then he did the rest.
Yeah.
But who can we really trust, Ben? I mean, Dr. Luke wrote Teenage Dream, California Girls, Wrecking Ball, Since You've Been Gone, Party in the USA, and remixed the Mortal Kombat theme from the original movie.
Jesus.
But he is also probably a sex pest.
Yeah.
Avril Lavigne co-wrote this song, but then again, she also did co-write this song.
Yeah.
So,
Goodness me. Look, I don't know. I think
sometimes there are no winners. Ben.
there are no winners. Yeah, exactly.
There's
so,
no good party.
Yeah, Dr. Luke, I think we'll talk about him a bit later in a future episode.
He was the one, in case you don't know, he was the one that Kesha claimed had, sexually / psychologically abused her.
Yep.
Something, and then there were rumours about him with other artists, but nothing was ever proved, I should say, but who knows.
Oh, look, Avril Lavigne probably got away lucky with a hit single. Anything could have
Yes.
happened. So, look, in the music video, Tom, so there's a punk guy who's dating a nerd.
Yes.
And
Yep.
then a punk girl approaches the punk guy and then chants the lyrics, hey, I don't like your girlfriend, you should get a new one, I could be your girlfriend, that bullshit. But here's the twist, Tom.
I'm waiting.
Avril Lavigne is playing both the nerd and the punk girl.
What?
So she's acting as both. So in one, she's wearing like a skull top and like a fucking tie with a stripy tie or some bullshit.
Yep.
Then in the other one, she's wearing like a cardigan and some glasses. So it's very, very creative. Now, look, I know the punk Avril is meant to be the one that everyone, that the viewer's meant to identify with and like and go, oh, you know, I like that one. And the nerd is meant to be the shit one that the audience is meant to hate. But, you know, if it was an end of the world scenario and I had to bang one of them to keep the human race alive, I would take nerd Avril every day of the week. And that's not because I have some sort of librarian nerd fetish. It's just because punk Avril is so fucking annoying. So the music video is a failure on all levels.
Well, I do have a librarian nerd fetish, and I approve this message.
Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, it's even more annoying than you're saying, because she actually plays a third character in the film, e.g. herself as the singer in the band, who is also equally annoying. So really you've got two irritating as fuck punk Avrils ganging up on one relatively harmless chick who's just trying to go to, you know, a fucking nightclub with her boyfriend.
Yeah,
so
no, exactly.
Really, again, there's no winners in this scenario.
No, there aren't as well. And I almost feel like because the punk boyfriend and the nerd chick are so unlikely, has he been dared into sort of like a Freddie Prinze Jr. style scenario to date her in the first place? So I don't even know what's going on here, but I sort of feel like she's been taken advantage of. There are no winners. Everything about it sucks, and I hated the music video so much. But the thing that I found interesting about it was that Avril playing a character that's almost herself is so unlikable that I would choose the alternative.
Yeah,
so.
No, it doesn't help.
Levine was married to Derek Whibley of Sum 41 at this stage.
I forgot about that.
When she recorded this, and I assume that in their heads they were the punk Beyonce and Jay-Z, but in reality they were more like the punk, Britney Spears and K-Fed. Do you sort of see that? Sort of more like a kind of, or maybe even Madonna and Vanilla Ice. I'm not quite sure which one. But
soon afterwards, she hooked up with someone more on her level of punkness, the Paddle Pop Lion from Nickelback.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
exactly.
They seemed a lot more apt for each other.
So I don't know whether Levine and Whibley had a child, but if they did, it would be obviously the punkest of all children. So, look, there you go. Look, Avril and co-writer Dr. Luke, as you mentioned, I Kissed a Girl, that other shit, was sued by the Rubinos. Their 1978 song, I Wanna Be Your Boyfriend, apparently sounds somewhat similar. They settled out of court, as these things always seem to go, and got a bit of a cut of the cash.
I hope they settled for $5 and a sun hat, because it's absolutely fucking nothing like this, other than that the chorus starts with Hey Hey You You, as does Hey Hey You You by Saluna, or Get Off of My Cloud by the Rolling Stones, and every sentence ever yelled by a PE teacher. You
can't really copyright. Hey,
it really doesn't sound anything like that at all.
No.
It just sounds chancy. I reckon some of these are just estates of people who are all dead, and that somebody just hears it on the radio and goes, I reckon we could get them to settle out of court for, rent money for next month or something like that, just to get us to piss off. It's got to be, because some of these are nothing like them at all.
A lot of them, I think you're correct. There's occasionally there's that's just a blatant rip-off, and then other times it's like, it's always the mistake.
And even the ones that win don't seem to bear any relation to how close they are to the actual song.
Exactly right. It's very, very difficult to sort of... I don't know what they do, whether they look at the notes on a page and show the jury and go, this goes A sharp,
They do in a court, and they play them the songs and they show how, but then even then, like, sometimes it doesn't work and sometimes it does work. Yeah. And in the old days, it seemed to be just a sort of gentleman's agreement to just go, as long as you mentioned the band in the liner notes, you're allowed to lift their entire song structures out.
Exactly. Look, I mean, Ed Sheeran, I'm no fan of Ed's material, but I did hear him, he gets sued frequently because he's always... He's got a lot of hits, obviously, and writes lots of songs. He gets sued a lot. But I did read something like he said, look, there's only 12 notes, and sometimes some shit's going to sound the same as something else.
Obviously, a 3-minute pop song, there's only so many fucking riffs. Every year, more people are trying to use those same riffs. Yeah. So,
And look, to Ed's defence, I do know that he was, I can't remember which song, but accused of ripping off TLC. So a waterfall
yes,
or something like that.
yeah.
So he just went, okay, yeah, look, I can understand that. Probably sounds similar to that. So he just added them as songwriters to the song. And doesn't everyone win then? They split the royalties.
Yeah.
It's not a bad sort of thing. You can avoid all this court bullshit. But yeah, I think a lot of the time you do get these chances of just going, shit, I'm
especially
living in a fucking
some
caravan.
shit from 20 years ago. Have you ever heard of the fucking Rubinos, for Christ's sake?
I'm sure Avril probably hasn't either. So
I mean, personally, I'm still listening to I Know What Boys Like from the Waitresses from last week.
yeah,
that song
it's a
shits
fucking
on both
banger.
of these fucking
it does
songs.
exactly. So Avril's management company uploaded the music video to YouTube, which seems like nowadays every single music video is uploaded to YouTube. But back in the time, it was a bit of a novelty. And due to a coordinated fan campaign, the video clocked up 100 million views between 2007 and 2008, and it resulted in Avril earning approximately $2 million in ad revenue.
Oh, how quaint.
So,
Imagine
I
that.
know.
100 million views is a big success.
Yeah,
Wow.
so today I gather record labels earn a decent chunk of revenue from YouTube music videos, especially ones that hit 1 billion views, but back in 2007, new ground, I think. So.
Well, I think I might have mentioned this before, but I remember reading that at the time, fucking Gangnam Style by Psy was the most watched YouTube video in history. It had something like 8 billion views. And I think that he made something like $8 million off that song.
Yep.
And only about 500 grand was from like YouTube and plays. So if they were once paying $2 million for 100 million views, they certainly fucking aren't now.
Certainly, I remember reading that, and they claimed that they made $2 million off 100 million. And you're correct. Like that sort of nowadays, the royalty rate would be so low.
Oh fuck no!
Yeah, I think I read
you'd make it
recent.
off sponsorship instead. That's what Gangnam Style was made off. It was made off sponsorship. And
I read an article maybe in the last year or two, and they sort of implied that off 1 million views, you're more likely to get something like $2,000.
Yeah.
So 100 million views, you might get 200 grand.
Yeah.
So which is like a tenth of what Avril claimed to get. So
and you'd barely make anything off ringtone sales.
I don't think so.
I
Exactly.
wonder how many. So I mean, that was something I should have looked that up. I wonder how much I wonder how much Hinder actually got off 3 million ringtone downloads. Would they get like 1 cent per download?
No. The ringtones, some of them cost. I remember an article that I read suggested that you could like to buy the full song would be like 99 cents, but the ringtone might cost you like $2 or something like that. So it would cost you
This
more.
was different format.
I think so, yeah. So I don't know whether Hinder got all of that $2. I assume they got a fraction of it. But,
what a small window.
it seems crazy that there were billions of dollars made annually off ringtone.
Well, anyway, those people who pushed that video up to that high position must have been smoking rock cocaine, because the video looks like a straight-to-DVD Scooby-Doo mystery filmed at Tasmania's Wonderland Serendipity theme park. I kept hoping to see a visibly stoned Matthew Lillard fly past on the Mighty Mouse coaster in the background. Really, I mean, and again, that was probably really expensive at the time. That was probably like the most money they could chuck at a music video.
Yeah.
Like it's very professionally shot in that sort of late 90s, early aughts way, but like it's so dumb. It's just
Yeah.
Like you said, it features 3 separate versions of the lead singer, and not one of them is likeable in any way.
No, not
you
at
kind
all.
of just want to, leave them all behind at the school disco.
Yeah, absolutely right. No, crazy. Look, so this was 6 weeks, as we said, 17 million Spotify for Avril, 72 cents to purchase.
So she must still have fans kicking.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. What are the lyrical highlights of this?
In a second, you'll be wrapped around my finger because I can do it better. There's no other, so when's it going to sink in? She's so stupid, what the hell were you thinking? Now, I wouldn't be throwing the word stupid around too casually if you're singing a song about 2 girlfriends and decide to include the line, there's no other, so when's it going to sink in?
Yeah.
Or claim that you can have him wrapped around your finger in a second, yet decide to spend 4 minutes singing him a dodgy pop song instead.
Yep, exactly. Oh, look, this I thought this was terrible.
It's too sad, isn't it?
Lyrically, just,
Yeah,
you're right.
you
No,
could
good.
take this. You could take the skeleton of this song and just re-put some other artist over the top of it, and then it would be
Make it better,
an
yeah.
okay pop song, But this one is irritating as fuck.
Correct, exactly right. All right, should we move on?
Sure.
Okay, Tom. So up next is Missy Higgins, Australia's own Missy Higgins, with a song, 1 week for this song, Steer.
Yes, a
Now-
much less polished, much more sort of singer-songwritery type of number one.
Yeah, exactly.
Australian-only hit.
It was, yeah. So this song, Steer, is purportedly about steers. Did you know steers are also called bullock, young neutered male cattle primarily raised for beef?
I did not.
Yeah, the terminology used to describe the sex and age of cattle. The male is first a bull calf. If left intact, becomes a bull.
Mm-hmm.
If castrated, he becomes a steer, and about 2 or 3 years grows to be an ox. So
Okay.
males retained for beef production are usually castrated to make them more docile on the range or in feedlots. The size and weight of a steer is highly dependent on the breed, with the weight between 450 kilos and 1,400 kilos. Most steers are raised for beef production. Beef cattle such as the common Hereford and Aberdeen Angus breeds have been bred to produce muscle, not milk, and tend to be much heftier than dairy cows. Breeds of beef cattle have differing characteristics in regards to growth, fat, rate, the rate of fat, content, disease resistance, ability to handle drought, a variety of organs including liver, kidney, heart, brain, and various glands may be collected from steers and sold for human consumption. Steers are also used as a source of leather for clothing and other products. And albeit controversially, participants in rodeo events such as steer wrestling and steer roping. So that description of steers is about as interesting as this song, Tom.
Well, yeah, maybe even more so because I actually learned a couple of things from that. But yeah,
She's traded in the weak piano ballad for a fucking weak acoustic number.
yeah, it's not exactly a thriller minute, is
No.
it? She seems less emotionally engaged in this one than in her previous hit. What was it called? Scar, yes. Another similar title.
Yep.
That was her last hit off this album. And if you're a singer-songwriter, emotional engagement and tunes is most of the toolbox. You know, if you don't have either of those, there's not much left on the table. It's not like 90s alternative where you can sing a whole tour like you're being heavily tranquilised and then just blame the smack.
Yeah.
You know, by this point, people are expecting you to, you know, have something,
exactly.
some sort of engagement with the music. And also the sort of the basic message of the song, you know, of artistic proactivity informing the song was pretty well covered by, for instance, Incubus in half a dozen songs from the 90s from their first album.
Yep.
Not to mention several that we've already covered on this podcast, including, for instance, What Are You Waiting For by Gwen Stefani,
True.
which is just the same thing. Like, I mean, you know what the song... Like, it's so simple. It's just about... She's just on holiday in Western Australia and then just, you know, just looking at the night sky going, oh, I'm ready to, you know, control my own destiny or whatever.
Yep.
That's it. That's the whole song. So, yeah.
Yeah, look, in the music video, she's working as a crash test dummy. Now, I don't know much about the crash test dummy industry, but as far as I'm aware, I don't believe they use living people in those trials.
Not outside China, no.
No, maybe they use some recently deceased bodies, but to the best of my knowledge, no actual people. Mainly an OH&S thing, too many work cover claims, I believe. So straight off the bat, I'm not believing the video. It's not factually accurate, and as such, I find it hard to relate to the material. But look, in the video, they show her driving a car into an object repeatedly, and, you know, she goes to work and jumps in the car, drives into the wall, goes home, etc., etc. And then one day, metaphor alert, Tom, she decides to steer the car outside of the confines of what she's expected to do and chooses her own path.
What?
Yeah. Okay, sorry. Maybe the song's about steering your life in the direction you choose and not about male neutered cattle. Is that right?
Oh, I see.
Sorry, I probably
That
should
does
have
make more sense.
probably should have thought about that before doing a long-winded, boring intro.
Hey,
at
we
the
all
start of
learn
this song.
something.
But look, the music video is better than the song. I'll give it that.
It is, but even then, you're making it sound more interesting than it actually is.
It's
Like,
not that interesting, but the song's very uninteresting. So.
Yeah, I mean, on paper that sounds vaguely interesting,
Yeah.
but visually, most of it is desaturated shots of Missy Higgins drinking instant coffee in her kitchen
It's true.
and putting on or taking off a series of op shop hoodies.
Yep.
Now, as was demonstrated by most of Britpop, 90s alternative and grunge. If you want to play the, no, I'm just a normal person like my audience card, then you've really got to back it up with tunes that tell the audience, no, I'm not, I'm actually amazing, of course. Because otherwise you're just actively inviting them to ask themselves, well, if this artist can't be fucked performing for me, then what's in it for me? You know, what am I getting out of this exchange? Especially when you're writing songs about taking control of your life and not wasting it, e.g. in front of Rage watching bullshit music videos for half-assed songs.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, even this video, like, I suppose this is probably just a fault of, you know, doing things in Australia, but it would be much more entertaining if most of the video was her crashing cars in cool slow motion or something like that. But obviously they could only afford to, you know, to get the wreckers to drop off 2 Dado 120Ys at the video shop, so they had to somehow stretch those over a 4-minute
more
video.
coffee shops.
So more shots of her in the kitchen, putting on another hoodie. Yeah.
Do you think if I developed this into a feature-length film, Tom, of someone just crashing cars and they drive off one day and go on a wacky adventure?
Adam Sandler.
Yeah, Adam Sandler just goes on a road trip and all kinds of hijinks and misadventures. Do you think I would have to pay... would Missy Higgins sue me for stealing the concept from the music video?
I would be extraordinarily surprised if even Missy Higgins could remember this fucking video.
Yeah, that's true.
And she was
might forget
in it.
Yeah, she might forget it. That's right. Yeah, exactly. So, look, 1 week for this, $650K for Missy, $395. Fucking hell, that's a lot. $395.
Again, that's probably purchase price.
Pretty good, exactly. What are the highlights for this in terms of lyrics?
Well, as I said, you know, it's pretty simple. It's just about a moment of lucidity, realising you're in control of your own life and trying to hang on to that feeling. But the search ends here where the night is totally clear and your heart is fierce, so now you know that you control where you go, you can steer. Yeah, get out of the box and step into the clear, because now you know, finally, you can steer. And as I said, lyrically this sounds weirdly similar to the Incubus song Drive. Whatever tomorrow brings, I'll be there. Would you choose water over wine? Hold the wheel and drive. If I was Incubus, I'd definitely try to settle out of court.
Yeah.
Except Missy Higgins is an Australian artist, so she probably works at David Jones during the week, and they don't pay the toilet cleaners much.
Nah,
David Jones, unfortunately.
They don't, not
I think
enough.
Incubus probably got enough money to not have to do that.
Correct, exactly right. Look, should we move on?
Sure.
Cool. All right, up next for another 6 weeks, another 6-weeker, Rihanna featuring Jay-Z, Umbrella.
I forgot Jay-Z was involved in this one.
He is
I've gotta
involved
say.
in this,
I
yeah.
don't think most people remember that.
He does a bit of a rap bit at the start.
That's one way of describing it.
I feel like he phoned this one in. Like it's sort of, you know, I do hear people claim that, you know, Jay-Z is one of the finest rappers of our era, but on this song he just seems to be like, hey, what's up, Rihanna? It's raining, I've got it, and it's just like, fuck, what?
It's not great.
So I did, when doing a bit of research for this, I read that he did another rap for this at the start that was apparently quote better, but had nothing to do with the song, like a bit of just one of those sort of bragging, like, yo, I got heaps of cash, whatever. And then he said, last minute he came in and just before they'd finished the song, literally came to the studio and just did a new rap. And then the producer was like, I don't think it sounds that great, but then he said, but in hindsight, at least it has something to do with, there's a couple of umbrella metaphors or some shit in there.
Well, their instincts were wrong. They should have stuck with the original, because if this has anything to do with Rihanna, I can't fucking tell what it is. And it honestly sounds as though the producer is struggling to try and make the beats fit the rap.
Yeah.
Like it sounds like Jay-Z wasn't even listening to the song when he busted this off.
He definitely didn't need to be involved in this,
No.
dare I say. I'd say that probably it's a catchy song and it probably would have been a hit.
If he
regardless.
produced it, then you go, fair enough, slap your fucking verse at the start, but he didn't even produce this. It's
Adds
just,
nothing to the song.
And
So-
Rihanna was not brand new at this point.
No,
It's
she
not
had a number one last week.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
It's not like she needed Jay-Z. I mean, I'm sure it didn't hurt, but yeah.
Exactly. So this song is huge and was the first song to be number one in the UK and US for 5 weeks or more since Candle in the Wind in 1997.
10 years ago.
It was also number one in Australia for 6 weeks, as we're talking about now, New Zealand, Brazil, Canada, Germany, Ireland, Italy, Poland, Portugal and Spain. So
Yes, big
all
success.
over the place.
This was track one from her third album, Good Girl Gone Bad.
Ooh.
So the one after the previous hit from last year. The song was offered to Britney Spears originally. She turned it down. Mary J. Blige claimed in an interview that this song was actually written by The Dream and Tricky Stewart for her.
Yeah.
They did the song for me, and it was during the Grammy time, and I was really, really busy, and I heard it, and I was like, oh my goodness, that's a smash, I love this song, and it was like, well, it's yours. So in the midst of it being mine, they were probably telling Rihanna it was hers. She's such a beautiful lady, and I love her to death. I was so glad that she caught it and knocked it out of the park, and it's still one of my favourite songs to date. Now, I really admire her total lack of honesty there. You know, truly, sometimes it takes real courage not to say, that bitch stole my song, I would have pissed in her letterbox, except I didn't think it'd be a hit because it was some bullshit about umbrellas. Also, was the 8th person in line to be asked to do the song, and during Grammy time, I mostly spend my days scrolling Instagram while getting my hair did.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
She chose not to say that. She chose to be nice about Rihanna, but, you know, couldn't help but pretend that they'd written this whole song for her when, in actual fact, it was clearly offered to quite a few other people first.
Look, it's one of those things as well where you've got the one scenario where, you offer it to 3 or 4 people, it gets rejected and someone picks it up and it's a big hit, and all the other people are like, oh, I should have recorded it, it would have been a hit. But maybe if someone else is singing it, there's no guarantee that it would have been to number one.
And even then, there's other people who were deciding as well.
Like, exactly.
They were the people who wrote it, but there was also another guy who was involved in the production, and they said even those guys who wrote it weren't sure about Rihanna until they heard it.
Yeah.
And even then they weren't like, oh, this is amazing. They just thought, like compared to the other people, she does the chorus is a bit more interesting. The way she, does the Ellas, So who knows what the other ones were like? We can only imagine.
Oh, exactly right, exactly. And from time to time, we come across those songs where someone records it in a demo format. They're like, no, that's whack, and then they give it to someone else. It's a big hit, and it's like, oh, I could have had a number one hit. And it's like, well, maybe not, because you just weren't as good a singer, or you didn't have the credibility, or you didn't have Jay-Z.
Or you might have
hey, Rihanna, got an umbrella. Some bullshit.
You might not have looked as good in it. Black PVC ballet tutu.
Exactly right. So look, now this song, a lot of people wonder what it's about, the metaphor of the umbrella, etc. But it's actually quite straightforward. The song is just about banging under an umbrella, as evidenced by the lyrics, quote, you can come under my umbrella. Now, Rihanna doesn't say, you can hide under my umbrella or you can get under my umbrella. She very deliberately states, you can come under my umbrella. So this is a song about some serious deep dicking. Some have said the umbrella is a metaphor, but that's wrong. It's just a song about banging Rihanna under an umbrella. So, in hindsight, maybe, just maybe, Jay-Z cheated on Beyonce with Rihanna under her umbrella, and not with Damian Leith, as I suggested last week. And I just want to clear that up. Well, I've been advised by Jay-Z's legal team that I need to clear it up. I just want to say that at no time was Jay-Z involved in a sexual relationship with Australian Idol winner Damian Leith. So I hope that fits the legal obligations that are required from the podcast, and we can put that to bed, hopefully, once and for all.
Incidentally, if Chris Rock is feeling a bit bad this week, what with getting bitch slapped in front of 3 billion people.
Well, no, not that many people were watching the Oscars. But
he should remind himself, perhaps, that Jay-Z is in a YouTube video getting the shit kicked out of him by Beyonce's sister, and it doesn't seem to have harmed his career prospects
no, that's true.
or marriage to Beyonce.
No, that's true.
For instance, either. So chin up, Tiger, I'd say.
Absolutely. Beyonce's sister's got a real funny name, doesn't she? Like, it's
yeah, god damn it.
I can't remember what it is. I remember my wife would always be sort of
Solange.
Yeah, that's right.
Solange.
She'd be like, oh, Solange, and I'm just like, who the fuck is that? It's like, oh, it's Beyonce's sister. It's like, is that a real name or is that like a stage name?
The first few times I heard it, I thought, oh, that must be one of their kids, because they always give their kids weird ass names. It's like, no.
It's actually sick. I love
Beyonce's
it because
a
no one
fucking
has
weird name too.
That's-
but you've heard it so many times, you're used to it now.
You're right. There's no one else called Beyonce.
Imagine
because
how
she's
many
such a
times she
star.
got called Beyonce growing up. I mean,
Actually, yeah, you're right. You take the celebrity out of it, and it is a completely bizarre
just
name.
a weird ass name.
Solange is it's
a strange
I'm
name.
feeling it.
It sounds like a new car to me.
Yeah. Oh, it
The
does.
Citroen Solange.
I think Elon Musk is going to be releasing the Tesla Solange any day now. So, look, as I mentioned last week, Rihanna is the richest female pop star, worth an estimated $1.7 billion. So, power to her.
So, how did she achieve that? We didn't get to it last week.
I don't actually think Rihanna... I just had a quick look at her Wikipedia. I don't think she even does music anymore. Like, the last album she released was at least 5 years ago. And I think it's very low down on her list of priorities. So,
she's a full-time entrepreneur.
Yeah, so she's the founder of cosmetics brand Fenty Beauty. And the fashion house Fenty, which just does clothes.
She is Fenty. Oh, I thought she was just their ambassador.
No,
wow,
so that's her brand, and it falls under the LVMH head. So Monet, what is it? Moet, Hennessy, Louis Vuitton.
Oh wow!
So that's
high-end luxury.
Yes, so for those that don't know, Moet, Hennessy and Louis Vuitton merged in the mid-'80s, I think it was, something like that, just to make an umbrella company for anything that's like luxury shit. And now they
were all briefly owned by Busta Rhymes. He had to sell them because he couldn't afford enough Moet, Hennessy or Louis Vuitton.
Exactly. So so since that time...
I think Big Baby Jesus was also a
Big Baby Jesus. I love that shit. Exactly. You just go, when he did a Mariah Carey video shoot, he'd just walk out with bags of go-go. So, so it's Rihanna's brand that's sort of a company under that sort of umbrella thing. So it's obviously luxury stuff.
Huge.
So she's massive. So as an owner of that, she obviously brings in a fuck ton of money from that. She's also a part owner of Tidal with that dude she banged.
Oh yeah, that was Jay-Z's streaming service that Kanye West was signed to for a while.
So she part owns that. And she also, early on in her day, she did a collaboration with Puma that sold out immediately apparently on its release. So
she also does, like with the
and
clothing.
She's got a perfume, I think, as well. Everyone
she
has
does
a fragrance.
Like lingerie ranges that have huge, big global launch parties and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. And following the release of this song, Rihanna also launched a line of umbrellas through the Totes company. So she's always been a businesswoman, and that's why Rihanna is worth $1.7 billion. And Dido, who didn't release her own dildo range that was spoken about in previous episodes, is now busking on a cruise ship. So probably.
Well, yes. I mean, Rihanna's obviously good at branding.
Yeah.
Part of her brand, her personal brand, is that she's a bad girl.
Oh,
But what makes her a bad girl exactly, Ben?
It's a good question, Tom. What is the bad girl of pop? Is she's not throwing TVs out of windows, is she? She's not punching out people that I know of, not just assaulting paparazzi. Yeah, what makes a bad girl of the pop world?
I mean, she's not bad by the punk standards. She's not bad even by glam metal standards. Certainly not bad by death metal standards. As far as I know, she hasn't stabbed any of her own bandmates inside a church that she set fire to.
No, she hasn't done that, exactly. So it does. You're right, it does raise the question.
I guess you could say she's got an abusive boyfriend. She walks around half naked and wears a lot of eyeliner. But by that standard, half the women on the Brownlow red carpet are the new Rihanna band. And I don't think that they are. I think at most they're going to get signed to Kyle Sanderland's new label.
Yeah, exactly.
Or become his girlfriend, possibly.
Look, who knows? If we find out in years to come that this Fenty thing was just a cover up for some sort of massive drug empire, then maybe we were like, oh yeah, Rihanna, she was a bad girl.
True. Yes.
But at this point in time, I mean, it's a relative thing, I guess, but I don't see her as any badder than any of the other pop stars.
I mean, she's got resting bitch face, but so do plenty of people.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think she has much of a sense of humour, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. So anyway, look,
I've never seen her in Battleship, so I couldn't tell you about her acting prospects.
Oh, it's poor.
She did that thing with. She did that movie with with what's his name. Fucking Childish Gambino, Donald Glover, a while ago, like a sort of indie film, but I never actually saw it.
Oh, I'm sure it's terrible. She was no good in Battleship, but he'd have to hold the fort on that one. He'd have to do most of the work. Look, in 2010, Rihanna also starred in a Kodak commercial along with rapper Pitbull. So Rihanna, Pitbull, Kodak, fantastic. Not long after the company spiraled towards bankruptcy. So, look, in many ways, the two are responsible for destroying a 120-year-old company. It wasn't in any way Kodak's fault for not embracing digital technology and thinking film was forever. But I did see H&M selling Kodak hoodies, so it looks like the company's pivoted from manufacturing film to fast fashion, which is a wise business choice.
Well, perhaps that's what they picked up from Rihanna, that it's much easier to just make hoodies than it is to actually produce a marketable product.
Yeah, exactly right. So look, it's good. In the video, Tom, the music video for this, I don't know, is iconic a word? I'm not sure. It's probably not quite Beyonce put a ring on it or some other stuff.
No, people
maybe iconic, I don't know. But in the video, she's wearing a pleather one-piece, a shorts halter top combo with no back and fingerless leather gloves, which is a sick look, I think. Fingerless leather gloves and like a backless short halter combo is rad. Then she's wearing a white dress. Then she's wearing a maid's outfit in another scene for no apparent reason. And eventually she's silver full body paint.
Yes.
The latter half of the
I've forgotten
video.
most of those.
Yeah.
All I remembered was her dancing around with an umbrella. But
Yeah, so the umbrella seems to pop up a lot less than you would have thought in this. I would have thought it would be some sort of fucking Fred Astaire singing in the rain bullshit,
Sure,
but it's
yeah.
not at all. Instead, it's like all that. So on the silver body paint, Rihanna commented, it was actually fun doing it because it's probably something that I'll only do once in my lifetime. Fair enough. So, two women painted me, spraying coat after coat after coat. Then I stood in a black box so that no one could see me in the nude while they filmed. There were only like 8 people in the box. Fucking 8?
I know.
No one could see me there. There were only 8 people there. It's like, why do you need 8? How about just the fucking dude with a camera? Including the director and my manager. The body paint was really oily. I couldn't wait to get it off my face. That was the worst part about it, getting it off. I was in the shower for 2.5 hours. My best friend had to come and shower with me because after I tried to do it myself, the silver would just go back to where I just washed myself. She was like, take your hands off and let me do it. Days after, I still had some in my hair, ears, and even my belly button. It would just not come off. Laughs. Now, look, it's all good and well for Rihanna, but I went with a full body paint for a music video that I did recently, Tom. And getting a friend over to help wash the paint off, I found significantly harder task than what Rihanna did. I guess, I just don't have the looks that Rihanna does, so that's probably why. But, I was on the phone with my mate, said, hey, Steve, what are you up to tonight? Oh, yeah, nothing? Cool. Yeah, awesome. You want to come over? Yeah, awesome. We'll have a few beers, get some pizzas. Yeah, watch a movie if you want. We could have a 2.5 hour shower together while you scrub silver paint off my entire body. Steve, hello? You there? I had to do that 8 to 10 times before someone would come over, and that someone was Damien Leith. So he finally agreed to get in the shower with me for 2.5 hours, get the body paint off. Never again, Tom. I didn't even have a music video to paint. It was just for a bit of fun.
I mean, if anyone has experienced desperately trying to scrape off an indelible stain, it would be the winner of Australian Idol, I suppose.
No doubt. Exactly. England, if you can believe this, Tom, was pounded by rain during the summer of 2007 when this song was a huge hit. So the London newspaper The Sun suggested that Umbrella may have been the cause, as club-goers could have been doing an unintentional rain dance when it played. They suggested a ban on Rihanna and an effort to download songs like In the Summertime.
That sounds like an unusually well-researched think piece for the Sun
It does,
newspaper.
exactly.
I assume the usual sub-editor was off that week after he broke his elbow reflexively attempting a Nazi salute while wrist-deep in a Tory politician's anus at the Tuesday night phone-hacking after-party. So he couldn't make it, and that one slipped through to the keeper.
I'd say so, yeah, absolutely. Look, the phone hacking, they probably hacked Rihanna's phone to find that information out in the first place.
Maybe.
So that, all that stuff about I was in the shower, my friend had to scrub the paint off. That wasn't an interview. That was just series of text messages that they'd hacked into and put an article together. So Umbrella was the most searched song on Google in 2007.
Yeah, well,
Which isn't surprising.
When Chris Brown and Rihanna were still dating, he even recorded his own version of this song.
Did he?
Which you can find on YouTube if you're really desperate. He changed the chorus to "You Can Be My Cinderella."
Jesus,
But
that sounds
yeah,
rough.
it's really a weak as piss acoustic strummy thing. It sounds like something a 15-year-old would write for his girlfriend.
Fantastic.
Except it's even more pathetic because she wrote it. He's just copying it.
Yeah, that guy sucks shit. So, look, there's a distorted bass riff in this, which hits hard as hell. It's
It
fucking
does,
great.
yeah, over the chorus. The chorus is the good part of this. This was produced by Tricky Stewart, Cook Harrell, and The Dream again.
Oh, yeah.
Who have worked with pop royalty for 15 years. Beyonce, Drake, Kanye, Rihanna, Lorde, anyone you can think of pretty much. This is one for the Stock Aitken and Waterman Taxi Club again.
Oh, good.
Stewart was fucking around with one of the default hi-hat sounds from GarageBand. The Dream heard it, he liked the beat, Stewart added some chords, and the Dream thought of an umbrella for some reason, went into the booth and just knocked out the verses. They had the whole song done in a couple of hours. And if you ask me, frankly, it sounds a bit like it. I have to admit, on re-listening, I actually like this less. I hadn't heard it for a long time, and apart from the chorus, mostly her voice and that bass line, there's really not much here, I don't reckon. It's like some sort of, I don't know, a cheap disposable item that looks solid, but it's really just like nylon stretched over wire, serves its purpose once and then you chuck it in a bin after a gust of wind blows it inside out.
Look,
I'm sure I'll think of it later, but yeah.
I think much like some of that Stock Aitken Waterman stuff that you listen to now, you're just like going, fucking hell, the production on this is awful. And same with that Guy Sebastian Angels Brought Me Here song. The production on that sounded so much worse than what I thought it would.
It's definitely better.
Oh, it's way better than that, but I think I agree with you in the sense that sort of if you don't listen to a song for a long period of time, then you listen to it, you're like, oh yeah, maybe it wasn't as futuristic as I remember it being. So,
if to give a little peek behind the curtain, because I'm writing on this cheapo laptop, a lot of the time, if I do need to refresh my memory by re-listening to a song, I listen to it via these cheap laptop speakers. And it is a really good test of how well a song holds up, because it really strips away any of the sort of production cheating, like a really good deep bass sound or good crisp treble or anything. So to get through here, it has to be, really quite good. Like, say, I Know What Boys Like by the Waitresses, which still sounds great through those speakers.
But yeah, the Jay-Z rap bit's no good either.
It's fucking lame as shit. And honest to God, it sounds like he is doing it to a different beat to the song. Yeah,
he's dialed that one in. 49 mil for Rihanna. No surprise there. She's got a fuckload of dudes. 57 cents for this. Yeah, that's a pretty sweet deal, probably. Look, we know the song's about fucking under an umbrella, Tom. What are the lyrical highlights?
Man, she's worth 1.7 billion. She doesn't need fucking 49 cents from Discog.
No, she doesn't.
She'd be piffing her CDs out the window into a waiting crowd.
Absolutely, yeah.
Lyrically, the problem with the Taxi Club is that it does tend to lead to lyrics like this. You have my heart and we'll never be worlds apart, maybe in magazines, but you'll still be my star, baby, 'cause in the dark you can't see shiny cars.
That's not necessarily true either, I think.
Video
it might
director,
be dark, but...
the video director Chris Applebaum obviously took the job, then heard the song and went, okay, close off and let's bust out the silver paint for this one.
No doubt. Exactly.
Can we get that maid outfit any smaller?
Yeah. Can we get it in, a child size? Do they make them?
Also, as you say, I mean, you can see shiny cars in the dark, whatever that has to be.
Yeah, fuck, I don't know.
You have my heart and we'll never be worlds apart, maybe in magazines. What the fuck does that mean?
It's arty, Tom. It's not meant to mean anything. I think that's the point.
Written in 10 minutes. Yeah. That's the Taxi Club.
Written in 10 minutes, indeed.
I should be so lucky.
Cool. All right. Well, up next, moving on to something significantly worse. It's Fergie solo, Tom. Big Girls Don't Cry. Now, could music get any worse than the Black Eyed Peas? Well, it turns out it can when you split the members up and you get solo work from probably the lowest, I guess the least talented and probably, shittiest element of said group. So
last in, first out.
Yeah, definitely.
She's off on her own.
Yep, she is. She's doing it solo. So it can't get much worse than this. Well, it can, because about a decade from now, Fergie releases MILF Money, which is about 5 tiers below this, if you can believe that. And this is fucking terrible. So 9 weeks, Tom. Did I get that correct at the start of that?
9 weeks.
What's wrong with people?
Man, I am starting to wonder myself, seriously. We're barely into the new millennium, And Australia's music taste seems to have plummeted from Canny Bogan level down to Crazy Frog featuring Fergie in a matter of days. What happened, Ben? Was it like 9/11? Did everyone just fucking lose their minds?
Oh, I've got no idea.
I suppose at least we weren't the Lone Ranger on this one.
Yep.
This was the third US number one from the same solo album, her first, which nobody had done since Christina 7 years earlier. The album was called The Duchess because, of course, Fergie was also the name of Sarah Ferguson, one-time partner of Prince Andrew and Duchess of York, Ben, you see.
Jesus.
You see, you get the connection. Because if there's one thing more rock and roll than being the ex-backup singer of the Black Eyed Peas, it's being a cash-grabbing, narcissistic ranger who's never had a real job in her entire life, and he's solely famous for being briefly married to a pedophile. So obviously that's what you'd want to call your album after.
You would definitely.
Your first solo album.
You'd certainly be wanting to align yourself with that Prince Andrew train, without doubt. So this is an emotional acoustic ballad, which is different from Fergie's usual
Certainly
work.
one way of describing it. Yes.
From the Black Eyed Peas. Now it's really emotional in this. Fergie's going to miss the dude she's breaking up with like a child misses a blanket. Now, that is very deep.
Just makes me think of Linus from Peanuts, really.
Yeah, children do miss blankets, don't they? And Fergie's going to miss the boyfriend much like that child missing the blanket, which begs the question, why is she breaking up with him in the first place? If she's going to miss him as much as, if not more so, than a child would miss a blanket, then perhaps they need to keep the relationship going, Tom. So, look, the breakup seems to be part because her boyfriend, who's played by the dude who played Rocky Balboa Jr. in the film Rocky Balboa.
Okay.
Easily the best in the series, Tom. That Rocky Balboa one, I think the 6th, 7th, I can't remember. He's selling drugs in the video clip to this, so Fergie's love interest.
Okay.
And she's not impressed. So Fergie is okay with taking drugs, just not okay with her fictional boyfriend in the music video for this song selling them.
I hope you're not suggesting that someone who pisses themselves live on stage during a concert isn't taking drugs.
No, I'm not. Sorry, I shouldn't. That's drawing.
This was produced by Will I Am, a man who knows much about lo-fi acoustic rock ballads as I know about hot gluing some fridge parts to a second-hand DeLorean and pretending to start an automotive production legacy. So, yeah, if you're wondering how he got that real authentic, White Stripes style, lo-fi valve amplifier sound.
Yeah, there was that.
That's Will I Am's handiwork.
Yeah, look, apart from the Rocky Balboa dude being her boyfriend in this and selling drugs, her backing band in the music video looked like an off-brand Sublime.
Sure, fucking do.
They just look terrible. I mean, it's sort of, we're going to do an acoustic ballad,
Yep.
Fergie, how you doing? Yeah, we're definitely going to need a dude with a fucking mohawk on this in the music video.
It's no MILF money, I'll tell you that.
No.
Much like Shakira's Underneath Your Clothes video, or Beyonce's all-girl group, the Sugar Mamas from Irreplaceable.
Yeah.
It sort of looks like the vision of an alien whose entire knowledge of what a rock group looks like comes from the bar band in the background of a Fast and the Furious scene set in a truck stop before Dwayne Johnson kicks Jason Statham through the drum kit. I'm saying that it's ridiculous, Ben. That's what I'm saying. As with Shakira, nothing anyone is doing matches anything you're actually hearing in the band, like particularly Fergie's vocals, which have been fed through Bryan Adams' patented 80s autoerotic asphyxiation filter. So it sounds like she's being slowly strangled to death while singing. But yeah, it's a really bizarre choice. I don't know what brand of authenticity they think they're getting through, but whoever they imagine that they look like, it's clearly coming through the same imagination of whoever designed the production outfits for, Hinder and their single.
Maybe
that
Fergie...
Get Stone video where it's just like they've just picked bits from other bands and just pasted them on top.
Look, maybe Fergie had just seen Sublime at like a music festival or something and said, let's try and do that.
Sublime are way too authentic for this.
That's true.
I think Sublime may have actually taken drugs at some point.
Yeah.
Bruce. I don't
The backing band in this, I don't know if you saw that Machine Gun Kelly doing that System of a Down cover during recently, but looks like the backing band from that, where dudes that are just like, you know, forced to be Machine Gun Kelly's backing band, like, oh fuck, it's a job, I guess.
They need the money.
I need to make rent this month. I'll go and do this, and then it's just
like
fucking
Sonya
awful.
Dada.
Yeah, exactly. Now, Fergie herself claims that the hardest thing she ever had to quit was not the boyfriend in this song, Tom, but meth.
Wow, I
Now,
did not know this.
Yeah. Now, it's unsurprising that Fergie was addicted to meth. That part doesn't surprise me at all. The surprising thing is that her meth addiction predates her time in the Black Eyed Peas. I just assumed that she was on drugs the entire time she was in this group. That's what Fergie says. It's the drug that's addicting, but it's why you start doing it in the first place that's interesting. A lot of it was being a child actor. I learned to suppress feelings. Now, Tom, Fergie was a child actor. She was a Kids Incorporated regular from 1984 through 1989, along with Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Okay.
And looking back at that, as long as all of her other roles as well, to try and pinpoint perhaps that sort of drug taking, where they came from. For me, it wasn't difficult to see where she was exposed to and became addicted to meth. It was around the time she was 19 in 1995 when she had a one-episode arc playing Christy on California Dreams. Tom. So she got mixed up with those surf dudes with attitudes, and if you've ever seen Point Break, you know that some of those surf dudes with attitudes are bad hombres, to use the vernacular of a former president of the United States of America. Now, the seedy underbelly of Hollywood. Fergie wanted to be a child actor. She wanted to be the next Drew Barrymore or Natalie Portman. Mm-hmm. She gets a one-episode guest spot on California Dreams with Matt, Jenny, Sly, Tiffany, Tony, Jake. She's also an aspiring singer. Maybe she thought she could get the chance to join the band, be part of the California Dreams. And all she ended up with was a crystal meth addiction. It's a story as old as time.
Common tale, isn't it? I mean, I never heard about this, but knowing the era in which she was a child actor, I did find myself thinking, props to Fergie for getting in early on the meth bandwagon.
Yeah, absolutely.
In 1995, most teens I knew were still trying to source some euphoria before the inevitable realisation that was an imaginary drug invented by the writers of Beverly Hills 90210 for that episode where Brandon gets a root on the hood of his car. Yeah,
absolutely.
By the time they found out, they'd missed out on any chance of becoming meth addicts.
Yeah, do you reckon? But is it sometimes like that where they come up with that fake drug and then it becomes real, like later on down the track? Like you've seen probably one of the finest films of all time, the Dolph Lundgren vehicle Showdown in Little Tokyo.
I have.
You may recall that the drug that they distribute, Dolph and Brandon Lee, who are cops who have to take down the Yakuza who are selling drugs, I believe. The drug that they're dealing is called ice.
Oh, wow.
In the movie.
Okay.
And you go, it's a made-up drug, but then you fast forward, a couple of decades, and the next thing you know, it's ravaging the rural towns of Australia, Tom. So that's obviously just a rebranding of methamphetamines, but anyway, it's okay. Yeah. One other question, Tom, I think I should ask, because I don't know whether we'll get to talk much about... there's 400 Black Eyed Peas songs coming up, spoiler alert, but does Fergie have that MILF money, talking about that song? Where, on a classy scale, from extremely unclassy to exceptionally classy, where does wearing a skin-tight, slippery when wet boob tube and pouring a litre of milk over your tits fall, do you think?
Well, I tend to think that if you went through Hollywood as a C-list meth-addicted child star and survived to be a MILF or even a MER, then you're probably grateful to have nice, cool, calcium-enriched tits instead of finding out what happens to one of Corey Feldman's angels after he's shown you the King of Pop altar in his sub-basement.
It's true.
I'd go with the, slightly chilled boobs, I think.
Yeah, I think so, look. And that is a fair point. Her music is terrible. I mean, it's objectively awful. But for someone that did have a meth addiction, she seems to be holding up okay. Yeah,
as child stars go, to get a second chance at a career, even if it's as some weird, not very good pop star, you'd be happy as Larry, wouldn't you?
Yep, definitely. So, look, Fergie herself has 10 million listeners on Spotify. And that's separate from her work in the Black Eyed Peas.
That's a lot.
84 cents, 9 weeks for this, which is insane. Lyrics. What do you got?
This is written by Fergie and Toby Gadd, co-author of If I Was a Boy, Big Girls Don't Cry, Lolita for the Veronicas, Bitch I'm Madonna for Madonna, SEX for Madonna, and clearly a bit of a freak. Sadly, he seems to have left all that energy in the Red Room for this one because it's boring as shit.
Yeah.
I hope you know that this has nothing to do with you. It's personal. Me, myself, and I, we've got some straightening out to do, and I'm going to miss you like a child misses their blanket, but I've got to get a move on with my life.
Yep.
That's right, Ben. Fergie and the Gadmeister have managed to take 3 verses, 3 choruses, and 4 minutes of your life to say, it's not you, it's me.
Yep.
A 5-word excuse for dumping someone so hacky that Seinfeld was taking the piss out of it in 1993.
Yeah. Exactly.
Apparently they thought, we need another bite of that fucking cherry, so here you go, 4 minutes of your life.
Fucking hell, yeah. Look, trash. Speaking of trash, Sean Kingston, Beautiful Girls.
Oh, God.
5 weeks of that. So I'd completely forgotten that this existed, probably
Me
because
too.
it's hot garbage.
Yeah.
It sounds like it was recorded in 1962, and I've always hated a throwback, but something I hate more than anything is when someone's like, oh, let's just do some of that 60s sound.
God,
and then
yeah.
people will be like, this stands out, not because it's good, but because orally it sounds different to the other things that are happening at the time. So people are like, oh, I like that different sort of thing. And it's like, well, it's just from a different era.
If you're
It's no good.
recombining it, or if you're adding something new to it,
Oh,
that's
of course.
different. But just,
As we talked about, like Kanye and Jamie Foxx the other week, obviously Gold Digger, great song where they've taken the samples from a different era, added in some new beats, added in some new lyrics, done something different, combined the old and the new to create new music, which is what, the best sampling-based music does. Take
like
something from
Moby's
the old...
Play album.
Moby's Play album. Or Moby's Grunge album that I also champion. But this is just... directly
Where
from
the fuck did Sean Kingston came from? I think at the back of my mind for a long time I thought he had something to do with Shaggy, but I think maybe it was just that they both came from the same place.
Look,
possibly?
I think he might be. I think he's from Jamaica.
I think he is.
But look, he was discovered on YouTube, which at the time was a novelty.
As we've said, this year and the last year, it's like this is when getting discovered on YouTube started.
That used to be newsworthy. If someone got a record deal off the back of a song on YouTube, it would be like big news. Like
you said,
they found
pitched
this guy on YouTube.
That whole fucking "Flowers in Your Hair" song by Sandy Tom was pitched of the fake story that she'd been a viral success off YouTube,
exactly,
off web video.
For sure. So that was that. Whereas nowadays it's just like, oh, we found them on YouTube. It's like, where else are you going to find them?
Show me when that counter's got 3 commas in it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I'll tell you that.
Being an A&R guy, it's not about going out to the shows and watching.
No.
Going to 5 band nights a week and watching all the bands and making notes and checking the shit out. It's just jump onto YouTube, see which kid has heaps of views and comments, and then just rock onto that. So
you get 100 million fans on your own, and then bring them to me, and I'll think about paying you.
For sure. So he was discovered on YouTube as a rapper, but ended up doing this doo-wop bullshit. Or what did Eamon call it? Ho-wop?
Ho-wop.
Is this ho-wop?
Or Playboy rap, possibly.
Yeah,
Look, I'd hate to hear his raps because he's about as good at singing as I am at getting shot by 50 Cent.
Yeah.
He can't pronounce the word beautiful or the word girl for a start, which is a slight impediment in a song called Beautiful Girls.
That is a problem, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't stop Alex Perry doing an ad for prescription glasses where he can't pronounce the word prescription.
Yeah.
But he only says that 4 times in the 30-second ad. This is a full song.
Yeah, exactly. So no, I completely agree. If you can't say the word beautiful, and that's fine, if you're an adult that can't say that word, maybe you have a brain injury or you in a car accident or something, that's fine. I'm not judging, but maybe don't just call you like delightful girls or glorious girls or lovely girls. Just call it a different name. If you can't say girls, just call it lovely hoes or something like that.
I think that's an Eamon song.
Great bitches, yeah. So the song is based around the bassline riff from Ben E. King's Stand By Me.
Yes.
And was written by 16-year-old Sean Kingston in a couple of hours.
Taxi Club.
Now, the lyrics describe the feeling of being a teenage boy when he's dumped by his girlfriend. Fantastic.
Do they? Let's say that they do.
Well, let's say that they do. But here's a question, though. When they say he wrote this, did he really write this, or did he just sing some words over a pre-existing song?
Yeah,
Because
this is a question
the
we can
baseline
apply.
is just sort of, I listened to this and just went,
Yeah.
how much of this did he write?
I know, it's like
Fuck
a lot
all, I
of
would
these
say.
that we've got.
Maybe the lyrics, but they're about as original as...
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Also, they're not as good as the original anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
You might think, if you haven't heard this, you might think from what we've said that a 1961 soul classic based on a Negro spiritual, based on a psalm, might not be the best fit for a 2007 hip-hop tinged pop song.
Yep.
And you might be completely correct, as this sounds like hot ballsack, and that's no fault of the original, which has been covered more than 400 times by different
400
artists,
times.
making this the 400th best version, just above the Crazy Frog Nokia remix and the Fergie version. A lot of people may
do one, if they've touched it.
A lot of people may know this from the Stephen King movie Stand By Me, in which it's the song obviously appears, which is named after that song. But yeah, so it was a hit in his childhood, which is the era being lazily evoked in the video for this one. You might think I'm being unfair, but to quote from an annotation clearly written by Kingston himself in his own Wikipedia page, the song sold more than 2 million ringtones in the US alone.
Great.
Which might sound like a bit of a boast if you hadn't just heard that Kinder sold 3 million ringtones.
Yeah.
As we've conclusively proved in this podcast, Ben, the Venn diagram of people who pay money for ringtones and people with musical taste looks like one circle, because the other circle is pinned to a door in Luxembourg on the opposite side of the fucking planet.
It's quite some distance away, isn't it? So.
God almighty. So what the fuck did this guy go on to do? Because I had to, like you, had to really stretch my memory to even remember who this guy was.
Well, Tom, he's done sweet fuck all since this. And yeah, when the name popped up, I was like, oh, yeah. Yep, remember the song.
Oh, no,
remember the
on,
song. Can't remember anything he's done since. So I tried to find some more info about him, but look, he did a duet with Flo Rida. He did a duet with Nicki Minaj.
Yep.
But even with those some of the best in the business, even with those names attached, he wasn't able to get those songs over into, charting hit territory, even with the big names. So made me think that Sean Kingston was probably the weak link. Because it's not Flo Rida, he's not the weak link. It's not Nicki Minaj, she's not the weak link. So it must be Sean Kingston.
Yes,
but,
well, in this song, the song is not the weak link, it's him, definitely.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
Everything that's been added to it that isn't the original is the weak part of the
So
song.
I tried to find out, Tom, it's sort of like no one just disappears overnight, for no reason, obviously. You can release a few songs and they might not go well, but maybe even then, off the success of this song, he could perhaps tour or do whatever, but I haven't heard from him for a while, so I had to do some research, and look, It's a bit sad, Tom. His downfall is unfortunately a story as old as time. In 2011, while in Miami on holiday, Kingston was in a jet ski accident. So I think that put him out of action for a while.
He joined that tragic club of rock stars who get into jet ski accidents in Miami, Florida.
He didn't die. He just never recorded anything else after that, I think. In 2021, November, so only a few months ago, Kingston allegedly punched a video director and pulled a gun on him inside his home in Los Angeles. So
wow.
He's,
I can only assume that Sean Kingston discovered the dude had previously directed Pumps and a Bump for MC Hammer.
No doubt.
I'm not sure if it's the same director who did this video that he punched. Possibly so, because in it Sean Kingston looks, acts, dresses and sings like the titular character from the live-action Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids movie.
Yeah.
It's also set in some ersatz 1950s fucking diner, and as Generation X who grew up drenched in boomer pop culture, I would happily never hear or see anything else about 1950s Americana for the rest of my fucking life. Happy Days can take a day to happily lick D's nuts, Ben.
Yep.
The only good thing about 1950s music was that, unlike this song, they didn't have fucking auto-tune back then.
Yep, that's true. Yeah, look, I find it hard to get nostalgic for an era that I never lived in. So, but Sean Kingston, who was born in 1990, has decided to go back to the good old days of 1952 America, despite the fact that he's actually from Jamaica, I believe, or the Bahamas. I can't recall which one.
Nuts.
But yeah, look, it's
It
terrible.
doesn't even suit the original song. The original song doesn't even suit that shit. you
No,
know.
exactly. Look, he's still got 11 million listeners on Spotify, which I imagine is
Holy
exclusively
fucking shit.
this song ending up on some worst of 2000s playlist or some bullshit. Terrible. And this will cost you 17 cents, which is, I think, probably about what it deserves. Anything else, Tom? What do you got for me?
Lyrically, now we're fussing and now we're fighting. Please tell me why I'm feeling slighted and I don't know how to make it better. You're dating other guys. You're telling me lies. Oh, I can't believe what I'm seeing with my eyes. I'm losing my mind and I don't think it's clever. Well, you're right. It's fucking mediocre as hell. I feel even sorrier for whichever half-dead slaves came up with this original song just so this pudding-eating coit could bend over and take a dump on it with whatever the fuck this song is. Like, Ben, does this even mean that, does this mean that Sean Kingston supports slavery?
I think it does.
Slavery, as he would pronounce it?
Yeah, I think it does. Look, I that's what I took away from the song, Tom. So
I mean, if he doesn't, he certainly profited directly from it, I believe.
For sure.
It's a straight line.
Yeah, definitely right. So he can, that house that he pulled that gun on, that's effectively bought from slavery, I would suggest.
Right.
So should be ashamed of himself, I think. So I won't be supporting him anymore, Tom, in his future endeavours. I'll say that right now. I won't be listening to him on Spotify. So when I had to listen to this song for research, Tom, I didn't want to listen to it on Spotify because I knew that he would get some money off this. So I had to go
That 0.003 cents.
So I had to go and find the single and then ask the op shop if they'd put it on for me so I could listen to it there. So that's how I heard it. So to the detriment of everyone else in the shop at the time. But
Sorry, I might have got a bit carried away with the massive level of shitness of this song. This year has been a tough one.
Yeah, it has been tough. But look, don't worry, it's getting better next. Delta Goodrum in this life for 1 week. So more weak shit from Delta, Tom.
Weak shit.
This is her 8th number one single, if you can believe that. And
Australian
her first one was
number
only
one,
a couple of years ago. So she's pumped out 8 in a very short period of time. Now, Tom, to be fair, this is slightly less boring than most of the others in her oeuvre. But that's like saying Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 1 is less boring than Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 2. It really is much of a muchness.
I'm a big Part 2 man.
You are?
myself,
Okay,
but
fair enough.
It sounds like they've tried to turn this into more of a power ballad than a usual plunky nonsense.
Yeah.
And it sounds like she's trying to do something a bit more interesting with her voice, maybe?
Yep.
She's like occasionally reaching for some sort of Alanis-ish edginess and a hint of a sort of theatrical voice to what she's singing. I mean, does it work? Well, yes, in the sense that it's a bit more interesting than her usual songs.
Yep.
And no, in the sense that it still lacks the musical heft and thematic gravitas of, say, I've Got a Lovely Bunch of Coconuts.
Yeah, look.
But, the slight improvement in range and production might be explained by 2 additional American songwriters and producer John Shanks,
Yep.
who's worked with Miley Cyrus, Hilary Duff, Sheryl Crow, Alanis herself, and Keith Urban.
Ooh.
So he has a lot of experience with buffing turds to a high sheen. He's got a special collection of chamois that are very good at it.
Absolutely, yeah. Indeed. Look, you're absolutely right. It does seem to have something more, and it's got more power.
Just compared to the previous 6 of her fucking songs.
The rest are
we've
just
done.
boring piano ballads, just attempts to do some power. So in this life, though, Tom, it's been used in Qantas frequent flyer advertisements.
Okay.
And musically, the song's about as interesting as a frequent flyer program. So good music, Tom, like Qantas, can transport you somewhere else, somewhere exciting. And this song transports me to Meadow Muse Baker's Delight. So
Wow.
I think that's sort of the vibe I'm really getting off this one.
Have you heard the news
What is it? No.
about the Meadow Muse?
No.
Oh, okay. Sorry, no, it was just the song.
Have you heard the news?
about
Yes.
the Meadow Muse.
The video premiered on 31st of August 2007 on the TV program Sunrise, where all good music videos should premiere. The video has been criticised for being, quote, too basic as it's just a white background with her sitting on a chair. And yeah, to be fair, this is real basic bitch shit. So they decided to make a new video for the American audience, which is a piano on a beach. I guess it's better in the sense that Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 1 is better than Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 2, but I know you're a Part 2 man, Tom.
I think that's unnecessary anyway, because frankly, Delta on a white piano against a white background in a white dress is probably the most appropriate video possible for this.
Yeah.
I don't know why they were upset, really. It would only be more fitting if she was also eating a huge bowl of vanilla ice cream while downloading the latest episode of Survivor and asking to speak to the manager. I think it's just why you would bother to put her on a beach. Like, no one's fooled with that shit.
Oh, absolutely right. Look, after the dog shit previous album titles Innocent Eyes and Mistaken Identity, both fucking awful, Delta decided to just call her third album Delta. A self-titled, which is wise, if not boring, but on brand for Delta, I would suggest. So, in between album number 1 and album number 2, she did a song for the 2006 Commonwealth Games. And yes, it is a weak as shit piano ballad, so completely on brand for Delta. It's no fucking Bound for Glory, I'll tell you that.
Was that a Commonwealth Games song?
Yeah, I think Paralympics or Commonwealth Games song, Bound for Glory.
She was definitely 15 years ahead of her time with the album title for this one.
Yeah. So the follow-up single, Believe Again, only made it to number 2, thank fuck, so I don't have to talk about it. It did see an updating of her sound in the sense that it incorporated a weak-ass dance beat to it. But look, at least she was trying to mix it up a little bit, slightly. It does suck though, so don't get me wrong. Lyrics, what do you got?
As I said earlier, this was written by Delta, two Yanks you've never heard of, and her then partner Brian McFadden, aka the guy from Westlife who isn't Ronan Keating or the other three, or the four who are in it now. Did you know that Westlife are still pinching off albums, Ben?
Yeah, I did know that.
They broke up and then they reformed in 2018. Yeah. That means Westlife is now 24 years of age and, ironically, far too old to be listening to Westlife.
Yeah, indeed.
Lyrically, I was put here for a reason. I was born into this world, and I'm living and I'm believing that I was meant to be your girl in this life, I know I'm not the world's most stringent feminist, but surely there's more to life than being anyone's fucking partner.
Yeah.
This is like those mad American Christians that sign abstinence contracts with their dad and spend the horniest years of humanity edging themselves until they finally meet the one great true love of their life, who by an astonishing coincidence attends the exact same Midwestern evangelical college that they do. Then they get married at 21, promising God, their parents and everyone they know that this love will last well beyond the boundaries of mere space and time, and then finally realise that sex with another virgin is not some sort of magical heavenly superglue that bonds a relationship together into an infinite afterlife. It's a bit more like some stray jizz sticking 2 pages of a magazine together.
Yeah.
You know, pretty clingy, sure, but not exactly something you'd build a hang glider out of, I don't think.
Look, it's fair enough, exactly. Look, I don't know whether you should save yourself for Jesus and then not go through with it all the way, I think. So I think that's where you're going with that,
that's
I believe,
right.
Tom. So, yeah.
Don't tell me Jesus didn't play the field before he got nailed to a tree.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He hung around with prostitutes all the time.
Fucking banging chicks.
If there was one thing
left,
he loved,
right,
it was
centre.
rubbing scented oil onto some prostitutes.
Oh, for sure.
Don't tell me that never got out of hand, especially after he turned all the liquid in the house into red wine.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what do you think he did with all that myrrh and frankincense?
I'm saying that Jesus was the Michael Hutchins of his day, and that Dogs in Space was a thinly veiled biblical allegory.
Yeah, look, I think Michael Jackson... Michael Hutchins. Michael Jackson definitely wasn't the
He
Jesus
was more
of
of
his
a
day.
Pontius Pilate figure.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. Jesus probably was the Michael Hutchins of his day, I would suggest, so for sure. I completely agree.
I think Michael Hutchins certainly thought he was the Jesus of his day.
Yeah, definitely.
Going by the way he looked at reflective surfaces anyway. Okay, what have we got next?
Real quick, $800K for Delta, $3 for this. All these Delta singles seem to
800K is not bad for an Aussie.
hold their value. So people must still be in the market for Delta CD singles. So yeah. Up next, Timbaland featuring Kerry Hilson, "The Way I Are."
You know what? I'm going to put my hand up and say I think this is my favourite song of the year so far.
Yeah, look, it's faint praise, Tom, but correct.
It is faint praise.
It is good.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, it's this versus fucking Evermore. So
Yeah,
so,
2 weeks for this. So hot off Sexy Back, Timberland gets his own number one.
Yes, he produced that, didn't he? I forgot about that.
So listening to this, I feel like this could have almost been a Justin Timberlake song from that Future Sound Sex, like whatever the fuck the album's called, era. So obviously knew what he was doing, what he was working with. He produced that. Yeah, Timberland. Yeah, produced that. A lot of songs off that album. Thought, hey, why not just keep one for myself? So that's what he's done. As I said, similar to that, but with Kerry Hilson doing like the JT bit, the bit that he'd probably get JT to do. He's got her in to do it, and then Timberland does
the sort of sexy vocal chorus. Yeah.
Now, Timberland has produced over 100 songs that have charted on the Billboard charts. So power to him. That's insane. That's a lot of songs.
Like I said, I really like this song. Like, it's a club song, but it's got great production.
It does have.
You'd
great
expect
production.
that from an A-list producer, but it's not guaranteed. As several of the songs we've discussed should theoretically be well produced, but they do not hold up particularly well. But yeah, like, you can dance to this. It's got fun sort of techno EDM elements.
Yeah, definitely that. The sort of it's not really the bass line, is it? The
it's got that sort of flanging
sort of That's
Hilson's
really
vocals in the JT role are great. I reckon she's more fun to listen to than JT.
Yeah. No.
There's two separate fun cheeseball rap breaks.
There are,
completely unnecessary, but at least they sound like they're having fun, unlike JC, who sounds like he's on the other end of a long-distance phone call.
Yeah, he really phoned that one in.
And
definitely.
the bottom end sounds fucking rad coming out of a huge sound system, because I remember this from nightclubs. Like, I know I said that was cheating earlier, but yeah, if it sounds good from this shitty laptop, then, in a nightclub, it bangs.
Yep. So Pharrell is Timberland's cousin.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so they're related. So do you think on Christmas Day Pharrell shows up with a number one music producer shirt, and then Timberland's like, fuck that, and then, there's a few punches after the turkey's been carved or something? So, because that's sort of, both of them have produced a lot of hits. They're both great producers, both great rappers. So, bit of family rivalry there, I imagine.
Oh, man, look, if you've seen Pharrell on a skateboard wearing a giant cartoon Mountie hat, you know that's a dude who can fuck you up. Honestly, actually, I looked up. I wasn't aware of that, so I looked it up. I was hoping I might find some beef on the internet, but they were just depressingly supportive and happy with each other. So I really couldn't find
that's
it.
what I thought as well.
In fact, they were kind of self-effacing. Like, it sounds like in interviews, people would often say to them, "Oh, I see, like, your cousin's doing really well at the moment," just hoping that they'd come out with something, but then they always just say, "No, good on him, great, they're excellent, good luck to them."
I think lesser fuckwits would really want to get drawn into that,
yes,
like sort of a Noel Gallagher, Liam Gallagher type, what, he's done this, but I think because they're both so successful, they're obviously very comfortable with their own thing.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, man, he's had heaps of hits, good on him.
And if there's room for two of them, like, it's not a zero-sum thing, they're doing slightly different stuff.
It's not like they're both quarterbacks on opposing football teams.
No,
one always wins and one always loses. Everyone can win in music.
Yeah, and it's not 1983 where only one black person at a time is allowed to appear on MTV in the entire country.
So, so this is a big hit there. Timberland had his first mainstream breakthrough with Genuine Pony.
Oh, that's a
Which is, how many chicks do you think lost their virginity to that song? Like a fucking lot?
I think a few people lost their virginity just listening to that song on their own. Like, it's like a Jesus type situation.
Actually, maybe not, Tom. I probably shouldn't say that, because the lyrics are quite subtle.
True.
If you're horny, let's do it. Ride it. My pony. My saddle's waiting. Come jump on it. So, and what I love about that song, I do find it's obviously a fucking banger, but I do find it refreshing, as most rap is all about, how boasting how rich you are,
true.
How many chicks you get, all the diamonds you've got, how big your dick is. But Genuine's happy to refer to his penis as his pony. Not a raging stallion, but a 2-inch pony. So power to him for bringing some much needed honesty to the rap game, I think. So
that's true. It made me wonder if was Genuine perhaps the first brony, Ben?
Oh, maybe.
Have people forgotten what bronies were already? They may have. He certainly seems to be sexually excited at the thought of boning a small, colourful horse.
Yeah.
I mean, this may explain what he's been doing for the last 15 years.
Genuine, yeah.
Just braiding manes, attending very select gatherings of men in brightly coloured plush fabrics and plastic hooves.
Yeah.
Some call it clop, Ben. That's an internet term. I call it polyester bestiality, and I doubt that Delta would approve.
Yeah,
somehow.
yeah.
I hear she once ate a piece of fairy bread by accident, assuming it was her normal mayonnaise sandwich on white, and had to be taken to Piano Ballot Hospital, where all the windows are permanently open so the curtains can blow free, nobody wears shoes, and everyone dies of hypothermia at age 32. Sorry, I got a bit distracted there by Genuine. Okay, sorry. I was just going to say, the music video for this song, did you see that? Did you actually watch it?
Yep.
There's a couple of different versions, but they're basically the same thing. I tripped over this. I thought you might think this was funny. The music video for the song was directed by a guy called Shane Drake and was filmed in the UK. Drake said, "I like to tell stories with my videos, and Timbaland's new video is going to be unlike any other." He's selling it, has come out here. "Utilising the tools of incendiary cinematography and fierce lighting schemes, I plan to sculpt an edgy masterpiece, oozing with style and impact. With each rhythmic pulse and beat, we will time crafty edits, sharp as tacks and smooth as steel. This video is going to be an artistic expression of Timbaland's music. As an added element of force and velocity, we will follow Timbaland as he cruises around the city. From the colours to the wardrobe to the edits, we will craft a slick masterpiece that defies genre and truly defines cool, and will show off Timbaland in a super music video." Now, maybe he's thinking of a different video, because the only thing defined in the one I saw is the answer to the question, what if I convinced the whole posse to stand in a sewer all night while a few no-name dildos in office wear play hacky sack with a soccer ball? Because that is literally the only thing that happens in this video. It's like they tried to walk through a sewer tunnel, came up to a grate, and the director went, "That's about good enough, just stand there, here's a blue light," do the entire song, and then these chuds behind them are just kicking a soccer ball. That's it.
That's a great quote, because it sounds like he said that before anything had been filmed.
I know.
Because you watch it and go, this just seems to be like a pretty stock standard, if anything, below.
It's below par.
Below par.
This song deserves... That fucking... Avril Lavigne video looks like it cost 20 times more. That had background extras and sets and costumes and shit.
Dare I say, Hinder's Get Stoned is better than that, and that involves a dude with a scarf by a pool. Going,
that at least had a giant fake house, and
it did.
I had to ring up the guy from from the Dandy Warhols and asked to borrow his entire outfit and haircut from the song.
Exactly, for sure. Hey, how you doing, bro? Yeah, what's up? Yeah, cool. Can I get your entire look and image? So,
but won't people get us confused? No, because your music's half decent, whereas mine's a pile of steaming shite.
Terrible, exactly. Do you reckon if they did, obviously there was that documentary Dig with Brian Jonestown
I still haven't seen that. I've got to watch
one
that.
One of the finest music video documentaries ever made. It's great. So, obviously Brian Jonestown Massacre and Dandy Warhols. If they were to make that with Hinder, who would be the Hinder sister band, do you think? Like a...
Oh, the up-and-coming one who take over.
Like Lifehouse or something?
I was going to say Nickelback, but that'd be back in time. The sad part is, I know that out there somewhere is a band who wants to be the next Hinder. And trying really hard.
I hope so.
I
hope so.
God, it's like, have you seen the Decline and Fall of Western Civilization Part 2?
The metal one?
The glam metal
years?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's like that. It's like these... It's like that very arse end of the glam metal era.
Yep.
And it's these teenagers who want to be the next... Poison, who wanted to be the next Rat, who wanted to be the next, and it just goes back to right back at the start. There's a couple of sort of actual original interesting bands.
Yeah, because I think like a couple of guys from Kiss are in it. At least one of them is. So not Gene Simmons, but I think like.
And they were a fucking cash grab. They just did it first back at the start.
Exactly.
They basically owe their entire career to this one gay hairdresser who said, "Hey, you should do face makeup."
It's just like that got them over the top. Yeah. So no, exactly right. So it's sort of
you can only copy the same thing so many times.
Yeah, for sure. But look, guitar music's probably going to make a comeback. I'm predicting.
Oh yeah, it's about due for a comeback, and singer-songwriters will come back again. It'll all cycle back around. It always does.
So look, we talked about obviously Timbaland and Pharrell. So Timbaland has worked with so many great stars over the years. Obviously, JT, this himself here, he's produced over 100 songs that have made it into the Billboard charts. And with all the hits he's had, with all the success that he has had, one song he didn't work on, and that his cousin Pharrell did, was one of the best songs of the 90s, Rex and Effect Rump Shaker. Now, if I know Timbaland, which I don't, then I know that this still haunts him, and that Pharrell, probably holds it over him all the time. I had another number one hit, and he's like, well, Rump Shaker, etc.
And look, I wouldn't be surprised. Were the beats like sweeter than candy?
Yeah.
Deep down, Timbaland knows that they weren't.
No,
they weren't sweeter than candy.
No doubt, I completely agree, and I think Timbaland's Nightmares are soundtracked by that opening saxophone. All I want to do is go a zoom, zoom. He just hears that over and over.
I didn't know Pharrell was involved in that. He must have been about 14.
He wasn't very old, yeah.
Jesus.
He wrote, I don't think he did any production on that, but he wrote one of the rap verses. So apparently the very first song.
Was he on the speedboat, though?
I hope so. I think he was driving it.
I love that bit in the video. I just watched that recently because of this thing. But it's like they're on the beach, and then it's like they wanted to have the sexy I'm on a boat bit now familiar to any rap video aficionado, except they could only afford a fairly small speedboat. So they've got one guy driving the boat so he can fit about maybe 10 people, but they can only stand upright, and they're so squashy that they can't even really dance.
No, they're just jammed in there as tight as they can get. So that's a great music video. So look, we've talked a lot about Timbaland, but remember, he's only one half of this. We've also got Kerry Hilson, who's doing the Vox on this. So,
there's a few other people too, in fact. We'll get to them. But
So this is her only number one single as either a featured artist or a solo artist. And if the hits do not keep coming, then unfortunately, Tom, you need to get the money from somewhere else. And under the personal life section on Wikipedia is one sentence. In 2011, Hilson posted nude for the May issue of Allure magazine. So I'm not sure what happened there, whether the money dried up after the royalties from this hit single, needs the cash. Allure's thrown her a bone and she's got the cans out. So
Allure sounds like one of your classier ones, though. At least she's not posing for, gaping holes.
Yeah, that's true. Exactly, yep. For sure. Banged up bitches or something like that. So in January 2010, she teamed up with Akon for the charity single Oh Africa, which I believe was raising funds to commence construction on Akon City, a worthy cause, I think. So.
Still waiting the first shovel to be pushed into some dirt on
But
that
look,
one.
her altruistic arc is particularly interesting, Tom. So obviously she's done the charity work with Akon. She was on We Are the World 25 for Haiti. Look, another good cause. She promoted the Get Schooled National Challenge and Tour, which was a program aimed at increasing high school and college graduation rates, promoting the importance of education, worthy cause. Contributed in the fight against AIDS by posing in a retail clothing company H&M celebrity-driven collection of fashion against AIDS, another worthy cause. Contributed to the It Gets Better project, a project which aims to prevent suicide amongst LGBT youth. Also obviously worthy cause. Ambassador for MTV Staying Alive, a foundation which raises awareness and prevention of AIDS and HIV. In 2011, she lent her support to US First Lady Michelle Obama's Let's Move campaign, aimed to combat childhood obesity. She visited Africa, stopped by an orphanage to visit her young fans who'd lost their families during the 2010-2011 ovarian crisis. In 2012, she worked with DoSomething.org to encourage young people to take part in the Epic Book Drive by bringing books to local people in need. And in the press release, she stated, joining Doing Something's newest effort to provide people in need for Epic Book Drive was the easiest decision she's ever made. And of course, she's an active opponent of 5G wireless technology, claiming it causes the coronavirus pandemic. So somewhere along the way, she's gone crazy. She's lost her mind because she's supported AIDS prevention, education, all of these things, a lot of great stuff. And then all of a sudden, one day, just jumped on the old, that 5G causes coronavirus. So I don't know.
It's also kind of interested. She must have some sort of external to music career to have the money for all this stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
Unless she married, Timberland or something.
Yeah, maybe she's just the face of all these ventures, and she's getting money donated to her for
Sure.
charity. So all worthy causes. So, but yeah, look, do we need to do a Joe Rogan style
Deep dive.
5G? Do we need to? You have to say that on podcasts these days. 5G does not cause the coronavirus, just in
I
case
think
people.
it's more if we were actively selling
cure.
toothpaste, which we were claiming that
Cures
5G,
coronavirus.
and
That's the problem.
advising people not to take, telling people you don't need insulin for diabetes. Go and drink fucking bleach and with hydroxychloroquine and ivermectin mixed into it. That'll do the job.
Did you know that Genuine Pony cures coronavirus? You just
It would
listen
not
to that,
surprise
just
me.
blast that, and you're good to
Yeah.
go. So, look, 11 mil for Timberland, 3 mil for Kerry Hilson. She's still got fans despite being insane, and this sells for 57 cents on Discogs. What about the lyrics?
Unusually, this whole song is not bragging about cars, money, or poontang, which makes it kind of interesting to me, at least. The extra rap verses here are from DOE and from Timberland's brother Sebastian.
Ooh,
Yeah, that's
Family
one of the
affair.
guys in the video. Yeah, he in the video is a different version to the radio version. There's an extra verse from his brother as well. Personally, I prefer Sebastian's contribution. Yeah, my money ain't aloof like Phil and them, and it's really not quite low as LSN. Your body ain't Pamela Anderson. It's a struggle just to get you in the caravan. But listen, baby girl, before I let you lose a pound, I'll buy a bigger car. I love you just the way you are, the way you are.
great.
Now, call me crazy, Ben, but I think this may be my favourite hip-hop track that features the lead singer's brother negging a chick so he can get her to take a caravanning holiday with him.
Yes, I think so. It is probably the best. Yo, can I be on this track? Yeah, what do you got to say? Oh,
I'm going to rhyme Pamela Anderson with caravan.
Lock that in. That's
Before
good.
you let you lose a pound, I'll buy a bigger car. I like that. Comes around at the end and brings it back,
Oh, it's good. I'm
I
glad
don't
that
care how
Timberland's
much.
giving his brother a go.
I don't care that you're making the toe ball drag on the ground.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Look, I think it's nice to keep the family involved. We've seen that with Donald Trump giving his kids a chance in federal politics.
Some call
so-
it nepotism.
Yeah, some call it
Other
nepotism,
people
but
call it getting the retarded into the workplace.
yeah, look, I think it is very nice that Timberland has done. I mean, there's less can go wrong when you get your brother to do a rap on a hip hop track rather than put your son in charge of international diplomacy or something like that.
I've got a brother, and I'm not sure about that actually.
What you reckon?
Oh no, yes, less can go wrong
On a rap track?
compared to international diplomacy. Yes,
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say less than can go wrong getting your brother to do it than someone else. I was thinking,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
definitely not.
Definitely.
All right. Well, speaking of inter-family relationships, who have we got next?
The Veronicas, Tom, with Hook Me Up. 1 week.
Once again, the Australian gets 1 week in
Yep.
between the international acts
Getting a
getting
heap of
9
weeks.
weeks. Yeah.
Now, is it fair to say, Tom, that at times during the Veronica's career, and maybe all the time, it's been insinuated that the two of them are in an incestuous lesbian relationship? Music video for this single case in point.
Yes, I have mentioned this quite a few times previously as well, I think.
Yep.
Look, I'll say this for being in an incestuous relationship with your identical twin, Ben. It would save a great deal of effort.
Yep.
I mean, imagine if you could solve every single relationship dilemma, big or small, physical or mental, by thinking, what would I want to happen?
Yep.
And then just doing whatever that is.
Yeah, that's true.
Sure, Christmas dinner might get a bit awkward, but you're going to fight with your pro-fascist auntie anyway, so it might as well be about macking down on your sister, I suppose.
Yeah, that's true.
As
Exactly.
opposed to, Scott Morrison's latest election campaign.
You see, you watch this music
In for a
video.
penny.
In for a penny, in for a pound, yeah. You watch this music video and you watch some of their other music videos, and some of the way that they sort of are looking at each other,
Oh,
and the
100%.
hands on each
Yeah.
other. Even Tattoo wouldn't go anywhere near that sort of shit. It sort of
Yeah.
has this sort of
Tattoo
album.
weren't related
No,
to each
yeah, well,
other.
exactly. That's
Yeah.
but like even Tattoo would be like that's a bit too much for us, and
Yes.
we're not related. But
No.
sort of even that album
100%.
covers like a bit of a hand on the arse, and sort of
Yeah.
it just seems like
It's absolutely...
sure.
The whole thing is just, it's pure twin fetishism.
Yeah, it's
that weird
bizarre.
kinky fetish where people want to have
well, it
a
can't be the
three-way
music
with two
because
sisters.
this is not very good. But look, What do you prefer, though, Tom? Do you prefer the sisters' work in the Veronicas, or do you prefer their work as Sapphire and Emerald Buxton in the Australian children's television series Cybergirl?
I don't think I ever saw Cybergirl.
Oh, the Veronicas are in it. So.
Okay. Hey, look, I'll tell you what, you can't go wrong being identical twins in Hollywood. There'll
Yep.
always be work for that. Do you remember those two sort of chubby, middle-aged, red-headed guys in America? They were in so many films just because pre-CGI, like identical twins were in short supply. They're not particularly good actors. They're in. It's the guy in Terminator 2 who gets the spike through his head in front of the coffee machine.
Yeah.
But they would show up all the time, just doing the mirror routine with each other and
Now
stuff.
it's like we need twins. It's like, yeah, cool. No, we don't. We just need one guy, and we can just.
So imagine how
CGI
in demand they were, but imagine if people wanted to see them have sex with each other as well. I mean,
Very true.
yeah. No wonder they were in Cybergirl.
Yeah, look, everything. I've always found the Veronicas kind of weird, and I've never really quite got it. I don't really know what's going on with it. But look, they're named after Veronica Sawyer, Winona Ryder's character in the film Heathers, which is probably the coolest thing about them. So
Yeah.
that's a great film.
Man, that movie is a Gen X classic. I think
Yep.
it's not something the subsequent generations are going to pick up in a hurry. I
No,
don't think.
well, didn't they remake it?
They
Like a
remade
series
it,
of it or some
but
shit?
only by completely changing everything about it.
Oh, great.
And unsurprisingly, it was a fucking disaster.
Is Christian Slater in it?
No,
Fuck.
no.
Sucks then, yeah.
I think also part of the reason no one's going to rush out to bring this back into the charts movie-wise is that it turns youth suicide into a punchline.
Oh, okay.
I don't think the Gen Z would be down with that. But
Yeah.
I like to imagine that it exists in the same universe as Pump Up the Volume and Gleaming the Cube,
Oh, fuck yeah.
aka the Slater Teenage Masturbator trilogy. That's what I like to call it. What's your favourite Heather's line, Ben? You got any favourites?
I've got a lot of from the other films that you mentioned.
Oh, okay.
Gleaming the Cube.
What's from Gleaming the Cube?
Oh, look, he's the thing about Gleaming the Cube is it's most of the talking's done on the skateboard, Tom.
Oh, okay.
Because he's obviously Christian Slater's doing a lot of skateboard
That's
action,
true.
but
Or Rodney Mullen and Tony Hawko, in fact.
but that's true. But the cop, Tom, the cop that arrests Christian Slater, him and his skateboarding mates. They're skateboarding in. They've got a free. Have you seen the film?
I have, but I can't remember the plot. All
So
I
the start of
remember
the
is
film.
skating.
Start of the film, Christian Slater goes to a local airport. They live in California somewhere. Him and his mates give the pilot like $50 or something like that, and says, "Take us up, fly us around." So they're going around in like a low aircraft, looking for empty swimming pools.
Empty swimming pools, yeah.
So they can go in there and hit the half pipe. So they find an empty swimming pool. They get dropped down, which I don't know how. You can't just land a plane on a fucking suburban street. So I'm not sure how that works. So they go in there. They're skateboarding in the pool. One of them has an accident. The cop shows up and arrests Christian Slater. And Christian Slater says to him, "Tom, you ready for this? If I had a dog with a face like yours, I'd shave its ass and teach him to walk backwards." And as an 8-year-old, I laughed and laughed and laughed and found that to be fantastic. So
That's pretty
that's
great.
but the film's great though. It's one of those films that I loved as a kid because people skateboarding and it had Christian Slater in it and it was super fun. But I haven't watched it for some time. I'm a little bit scared about doing it. Sometimes you watch those
Same
things.
as Pump Up the Volume. I remember loving that. I had a huge crush on Ione Sky, and it's got a rad soundtrack.
It does, yeah,
it's like
definitely.
well ahead of its time, that soundtrack. But I have a suspicion that it might be, I watched it when I was like the age of like there's because he's like that DJ and this, the troubled teens called him in the middle of the night and because shit their parents don't understand. And I was like the age of those teens, and I remember liking it back then. But I'm starting to wonder how legitimate their problems might actually be. Thinking about as legitimate as mine were, e.g., not fucking very. Yeah. Well, anyway, my favourite 3 lines from Heather's are, "Whether to kill yourself or not is one of the most important decisions a teenager can make. I love my dead gay son, and of course, fuck me gently with a chainsaw," which was actually supposed to be a Shannon Doherty line, but she was 17 at the time, and so her mum was on set the whole time, and she went, "Nah, she's not fucking saying that." So they gave it to the horrible bitch, the one who later gets killed by drinking Drano.
Now,
falls through a plate glass table.
oh yeah. In 2007, so around the time of this single, the Veronicas designed a fashion line for Target. in Australia here, Tom. The line was described by the Veronicas as, quote, punk princess mixed with rock and roll, which is exactly how I describe my fashion line. What in the living fuck does that mean? Punk princess mixed with rock and roll.
I'm surprised they didn't get sued by Avril Lavigne, because I think Punk Princess, sponsored by Target, is tattooed over her bum crack.
Yeah, definitely.
Next to a copyright 2017.
Punk princess mixed with rock and roll does feel very Avril, so I'm not sure
It
what
does.
the Veronicas are trying. Were the Veronicas even punk at any time? What the fuck were they doing? I don't even know.
It was always a
This
bit
song's
hazy
not.
what they were supposed to be aimed at. Their first album was sort of pencil case punk, like Avril Lavigne.
Pop punk type.
This
weak
one
shit.
they tried to get a bit more electro,
Well, this is
I
a-
think.
yeah, this is,
yeah.
For sure. Look, in 2005, Archie Comics filed a lawsuit against the Veronicas for apparent trademark infringement. Currently, Archie Comics claimed that the sisters had named themselves after the comic book character Veronica Lodge and demanded...
That unusual a name.
It's
Veronica's
insane,
not that
exactly.
weird.
And they demanded $200 million in damages. Not sure how the fuck they calculated that figure. A settlement was reached between both parties, and that settlement, Tom, was cross-promotion, of course, with the Veronicas going on to appear in a multiple story arc of Archie comic issues. Is that standard resolution for a lawsuit these days? We'll drop the lawsuit, but on the condition you appear in one of our comic books. So it just seems completely bizarre.
You know what? Like, after covering 24 years of number one hits, I think that might be the best lawsuit resolution I've heard
I
of
think
so
so, yeah.
far. The Veronicas are currently touring Australia with a tour called Godzilla vs. Human.
Jesus
So perhaps
Christ.
they're hoping to get sued and then appear in this month's latest reboot of the beloved Godzilla movie franchise that nobody goes to watch because it's dumb as shit.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I might just call my band Spider-Man 3
That's
and then just
right.
put, we're going to get sued. Here's a resolution. You have to be Spider-Man. It's, fucking hell. I can't this weekend. I've got stuff
The
on.
one that I found most amazing was that Aqua got away with Barbie Girl.
Oh, yeah,
remember?
that
Because
seems
Mattel
insane.
tried to sue them, and that is not a common name.
No.
People are not called Barbie. Also, they're talking about fucking Barbie in the song.
Yeah.
That's who they're talking about. It's not just like, we like that name and we're borrowing it. You know, and somehow they fucking got away with it.
These lawsuits seem weird. The fact that Aqua can get away with Barbie, and look, I think they should. I have problems with this, where it's like I'm a popular brand, and it's like, well, someone just wants to use the name of that thing in the song.
you're
They're not
part
trying
of
to
culture,
sell your.
you know.
Exactly, you
Yeah.
are part of culture. So Barbie Girl, them getting away with it, great. But yeah, then for the Veronicas to get sued because of
That's
a character in
bananas.
the comic just seems insane.
Called Veronica. I mean,
Yeah.
Veronica's not that weird of a
Yeah,
fucking name. Like you said, that there's a Veronica in another film.
Yeah, exactly. It's fucking
I
ridiculous.
thought it might have had something to... Isn't there Veronica in the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
It's Veruca.
Veruca, sorry.
But
Veruca,
then
sorry.
there was that band though.
There's a band called Veruca Salt.
Yeah, so why didn't they get sued by Roald Dahl, the old Dahlster? He was in the ground, I guess.
Maybe
but,
he was a big fan of Seether.
I'm sure he was, Roald Dahl. He loved that grunge
Not
music.
enough song about vaginas, he said to himself.
Speaking of grunge, Jessica, one half of the Veronicas, dated Billy Corgan for a few years. That seems weird as hell. Can you imagine that? One half of the Veronicas and Billy Corgan just hanging out?
Despite on a
There's
rage,
quite an
I'm
age
still
difference
just
there
a rat
too,
in a
isn't there?
Cage, yeah.
Maybe
So
they broke up with him because he's, he should be more along the lines of fucking, what's her name?
the other one.
Keita Wilson.
Yeah.
Kerry Hilson, the pro 5G, anti 5G
Oh, yeah,
thing.
yeah.
He'd be well onto her team by these days.
Look, I guess I should speak about the song really briefly. So, Hook Me Up, Tom, samples elements of, wait for it, Tainted Love by Soft Cell.
Again.
If Rihanna can do it, I guess so can we, said the Veronicas. But this is like a year apart. And
It's not as obvious though. If you hadn't told me that, I wouldn't have picked that up, I don't reckon.
yeah, it's definitely in there. But you're right. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
certainly not. I think I don't know whether it's. What I read was sampled, but I don't know whether it's sampled and just a slight, reusing and adjusting it.
Yeah, I mean, it could be low in the mix, but yeah.
Yeah, so look, as you said, they ditched the pop-punk Avril Lavigne knockoff of their first album, have gone electronic on this one. Enough people were feeling this in 2007 to get the song to number one. But look, it sounds a little bit shitty today, I think. The production's not great. The follow-up single, Untouched, hit number 2 on the charts, followed by This Love, which reached number 10 and unfortunately wasn't a Pantera cover, which was disappointing.
Ah, yes, but who knows what they would have done to that.
Yeah, butchered it.
Yeah, this album was about as big as they've been to date, and probably ever will be, let's be honest, unless Godzilla vs. Human leads to a Matthew Broderick revival or something.
I hope so.
After this song was an Australian number one, as you said, the next single, Untouched, was the first single to be released in the US, Canada, Europe and New Zealand, and that song was number 2 here, as you said, but it also became their first single to hit the Billboard Hot 100, debuting at 62 and eventually peaking at 17, making their first top 20 hit in the United States, brackets probably, and forever.
Yeah.
Not bad, though, really. 17 in the US is pretty good for a band on their second album. They became the first Australian artist ever to have a single certified platinum in the US as well, with over 1 million paid downloads.
Wow.
Now, I know we talked about this. Paid downloads, not quite the same thing as walking to Brash's in the Quadrant and paying $5 over the counter for a single, but it is still money. That's not 1 million YouTube views or fucking mobile tone ringtones. So people have gone, I want that song, and bought it. So, hats off for that.
Yep.
It's like bloody, Chica Cherry Cola, Savage Garden.
True.
You may not like their music, but you can't argue with just people from Adelaide getting to number 17. Look, I don't hate this as much as you do. I feel like it flirts with trying something a bit more interesting than the average Avril Lavigne song.
Yep.
There's a few interesting production flourishes in the chorus, for instance. I feel like somewhere out there in an alternative universe, the Veronicas hooked up with the perfect producer and became neo-industrial punk superstars, or at least the non-Russian tattoo of incestuous scissoring.
It's true.
I reckon it could have happened.
Are the Veronicas the Scissor Sisters? Is that where the name came from? I have to ask them.
They certainly got... Did you see them on the Arias a little while ago where they appeared topless and everyone was going on about how brave it was or whatever? It was quite a good look, but, I am pervy, but they weren't actually topless. It was some sort of plastic thing. If you ask people, what song did they sing while they were doing that, I doubt many people would
No one knows any of their songs. Yeah, look. But this was obviously huge, Tom, as you said, on an international scale, with them selling over 1 million downloads in America, and to show just how big it was.
That was the next one. That was the Untouched.
Okay. But look, just this song, though, just showing how big it was on an international scale. The Veronicas performed this live on Australia's Funniest Home Video Show.
When did they manage to squeeze in live bands?
Fuck knows.
That must have been the end where YouTube was nudging up close and nipping at their heels.
They were just going, so what's the show again? It's people sending in videos of someone falling in the water.
No, it's Tony Pearson making wacky puns, wearing a polka dot dress shaped like a Big M carton or something.
Yeah, no need to tune in when you can just get that for free on the internet. So, they must have pivoted into live music and the Veronicas performed this.
So how are they doing these days on your Spotify? Remember, Delta's 800 grand.
2 mil.
See, there you go. They achieved, even albeit briefly, they achieved an international success that Delta never quite managed.
And Tom, new world record for us. This CD single on Discogs will cost you $9.22.
Fucking hell. That would be more than it cost at the time.
So if you bought
they really mustn't have had much faith in this book.
I should have bought 1,000, Tom, back in 2007. Got this even further up the charts. And
this is like their second CD. I'm thinking maybe their first album didn't do as well as they hoped.
Yep.
They were like, okay, we'll do another album, but, we're not going to go to a huge effort. This video looks like it cost about $20 and was filmed at Riverside High School.
Yep.
They've released this single, but only in Australia, but it's done a bit better than they've thought. Then they've gone, all right, well, maybe we'll do an international release for the next song.
Yeah.
This is done better than I thought. So maybe they only did, a handful of these.
They might not have made many, yeah.
But still, that's the most expensive one we've ever had on, geez.
Exactly.
Also, 2 million. That, for an Australian artist, 2 million overseas listens is not bad.
Yeah, definitely. So what are the lyrics to this?
Written by the Veronicas, whose real names are Jessica Origliasso and Lisa Origliasso, probably pronouncing that wrong, with Shelley Piken and Greg Wells, and produced by our mate Toby Gadd, last heard on Fergie's Big Girls Don't Cry, bracket personal end bracket. Appropriately, it sounds like it was written by 3 different authors. I'm tired of my life, I feel so in between, I'm sick of all my friends, girls can be so mean, I feel like throwing out everything I wear, starting over new because I'm not even there. That's like one author.
Yep.
next author comes in. Sometimes I want to get away someplace, but I don't want to stay too long. Sometimes I want a brand new day, try to fit in where I don't belong. That's another person, because it contradicts the last thing that they said. Then a different person writes the chorus, hook me up, I want to feel the rain in my hair. Where should we go? I don't even care. Anywhere is good enough. And it's got some weird, it's just got some weird notes that they do in that bit. I don't know. Anyway, it's not great.
But it's better than most of the other stuff this
Yeah,
year.
I don't think this is any worse than if you gave this song the production values that Avril Lavigne song did. I reckon you'd come up with something as good as that Avril Lavigne song, which is not a high bar.
No.
But, you know.
Absolutely. Music video, they're in like a boarding school or some shit as well, I think.
It's like a fucking 7 years too late knockoff of Oops, I Did It Again. Where the Oops, I Did It Again. What's the first one? Was that?
Yeah, Oops, I Did It Again.
Yeah. And it's like, but check this out from a metaphor, Ben. It's like the school is like imposing a sort of regimented, uniform, if you will, appearance, There's one area where only boys are allowed to go and one area where only girls are allowed to go. But those Veronicas, they don't play by the rules, Ben.
Well, they don't. I mean, I've described them as punk princesses mixed with rock and roll, so I guess that's sort of where they're at.
Well, Target definitely supplied the fashion for that video.
No doubt. All right, up next, we're sticking with Australians.
For another 1 week.
The queen, is she the queen of pop? I don't know. The princess
She's
of
certainly
pop.
the queen of queens by this stage.
Yep. Kylie Minogue, Two Hearts.
Yes.
I thought this was a Phil Collins cover.
I was going to say that
together.
lazily, sure.
You were? No.
Oh, no. How could you not, though?
So Kylie, from what I recall, she tried the whole live instruments band thing with Impossible Princess.
Yeah.
And it went down about as well as Scott Morrison performing with a ukulele in an inner city Melbourne pub. But
yeah, look, she might have just gotten bored of disco, Ben.
Yep.
Hard to believe, but it's a tragic condition that can affect us heterosexuals.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially after 3 albums of the same neo-disco stuff. Like, I mean, she, as we've discussed, she had some absolute bangers off those 3, but they could effectively be the same long album.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
You could sell those as a 3-hour disco mix, those fucking albums.
I think those albums were dropping almost every year because we'd talk about a song and then the next year we'd talk about another number one song that would be off a different album.
Since the Millennium Turnover, she's done nothing but disco for like 6 fucking years.
Yep.
And so I reckon she was probably thinking, well,
let's do something else. So she's ditched electronic sound. As we've said, this one
not totally. No. Compared to the last,
but there's a
3
lot. There's a
albums.
quote live band on this one. There's guitar, piano, drums.
There's more live band than there is in that fucking Fergie song, which features a live band in the video.
Yeah, this is like Kylie fronting a sort of band thing.
Yeah, she's singing on top of a piano in the video. There's someone actually playing it. And
she tried it post grunge in '95, and she put it on ice for a decade, and she's back doing it. So Impossible Princess, people didn't really like that one. I don't think.
Confide in Me. That was the one awesome song off that.
That was great. Yeah, I love that one. Look, there's a lot of people that write in and complain that we don't really talk enough about the songs. In terms of the composition,
complaining about that.
I sort of hear about that a lot. So look, I thought I'd rectify that because it's just complaints about that. So in the verses, the song does the chord progression A minor, D to G, and then in the chorus it does F to D minor 7, then to A minor, and then to C. So we don't usually talk about that stuff as it's fucking boring, Tom. No one. So stop writing in because no one cares about that stuff at all. It's fucking stupid. So
well, I hope not, because they're certainly not getting it from me.
Oh, just ridiculous. So this was written. Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say this is obviously a Phil Collins cover. We all know the song "Two Hearts Living in Just One." It's not, is it? It's not a Phil Collins. Sorry. Just going to have to give up on that joke. It was never going to fly.
So this was actually written and recorded by a UK band, Kish Mauve, in 2005. So it's only a couple of years old, and then Kylie
never heard of them.
Decided to cover and release it as the first single off her album X.
So the original version, I had a listen. Did you ever listen?
Yeah,
it's pretty good fun. I thought it's a sort of stripped back piano electro jaunt. It sounds a bit like the Scissors Sisters with the BPM turned down about 50%, which in turn sounds a bit like Can't Get You Out of My Head, which is probably, I'm thinking, why Kylie picked it, why she just thought, I can do this with my voice, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
She doesn't have the biggest range in the world, but she probably thought, well, it's not too far from what I've just been doing, but it's got more instrumentation in it, you know, it's a bit more interesting.
And then she could have went two directions. She could have made it dancier or dialed it back. And she went the
you
opposite
could have
direction.
sped this up and get pretty much the same song.
So yeah, definitely. Two Hearts was used in promotional advertisements for the sitcom Cougar Town, Tom, starring Courtney Cox, which I think will ultimately be considered the better show than Friends long term. So,
Did you ever watch that show?
I saw an ad for it once, but didn't watch it. Did you see it?
Much like Friends, the first season or two was really promising.
Yep.
And then everyone got plastic surgery and it went rapidly over a cliff, also known as the Jennifer Grey effect. Yeah. I felt a bit bad for it because, like, the first few seasons nobody watched because of the stupid fucking name and premise of it, when it really wasn't about that at all. It was just a kind of quite a funny sitcom about a single mum, you know, trying to start again, and her son and the people around. It's got Busy Phillips in it and her ex-husband who hangs around. And then by the time people started to get into it, then it had all become a bit, it had gone a bit Courtney face.
A bit too Courtney face, yeah. Look, so this is unfortunately Kylie's last number one in Australia, Tom. For now, who knows? She might release something.
Who knows?
2022 and get another hit because, you know, Kylie's always reinventing herself, so there's still time. But do you have a favourite Kylie song for all the hits that she's had over the years? Is there one, if you had to choose one?
I know we both like Confide in Me. Yep. That's a real standout, especially just out of nowhere.
Yep. Great music video as well.
Yes, yeah. It's not this one, that's sure. I think, to be a bit obscure, I'd vote for the Soul Wax Kyless remix of Can't Get You Out of My Head. Not the others. There's two Soul Wax remixes, not the other one. It has to be the Kyless remix.
Okay. Good. Where can I hear that, Tom?
On YouTube. It's on YouTube. You just have to, because there's two of them and one of them's not as good, that's all.
Yeah, look, Tom, I guess if I had to choose one as well, I'm going to choose one that wasn't a number one hit, so I've actually gone ahead and asked you what your favourite number one is, and then I've just I've set parameters on what your response should be, and then I've just knocked those parameters down for my own response, which was quite unfair on you, so I apologise. But I'd say a 1991 single, I Guess I Like It Like That, where she samples Too Unlimited, Get Ready for This.
Oh, yes.
Certainly a deep cut from the Kylie discography, but the combination of her voice with the power of Too Unlimited gets me pumped up, so it's pretty good.
Fucking oath. God bless you, Ben, because I had never heard that song before.
Yep.
I think I was just getting it, I think you referred to it, but I think I was getting it confused with the line in Spinning Around where she says, I guess I like it like that. Which may possibly be a reference to her past.
Possibly, yep.
But yeah, apparently she was going through like the club phase at this time. I think she'd gone to the UK and discovered pingers or something.
Yeah.
Because fucking hell, that is a stone cold fucking 91 club banger.
Yep.
It makes me want to drop 3 pink Mitsubishis with Guru Josh and talk about vests until they kick us out of regimes. And for the record, it also samples I Like It Like That by Salt and Pepper and Freestyle Orchestra featuring Deborah Keep On Pumping It Up extended mix. Supposedly it was produced and co-written by Stock and Waterman, but it's not a total pile of shit, so clearly what has happened was that Too Unlimited snuck into the studio the night before release, unplugged the Nintendo ROB that Stock, Aitken and Waterman used to work the mixing desk and turned it into this banger when no one was noticing.
Yeah, look, I think the only thing that can explain that song is, you're right, Kylie was obviously really into dance music.
I can't believe I hadn't heard that song. That belongs up on the podium with like early KLF and shit like that. It's fucking rad.
It's pretty good, and I think the reason it sounds better, because Stock, Aitken and Waterman, however they wrote their songs, it was obviously just using the shittiest instruments they had, which is why it sounded so thin. But because this song, I think, is almost completely sample-based, at least for the most part, then it's actually drawing off better produced samples. And then they've just got some dance beats, which have just cranked the
and
bass
also
up to
dance
the max.
beats have the genre has different requirements than like pop.
Yeah, yes.
You know, things can be repetitive. It's part of the part
And
of
they
the
can-
style, you know.
Yeah. But yeah, good one. So
Also, there's a live video
Yeah.
of her doing that song in '91, which is fucking great. She looks like she's having an absolute blast.
it is good. So hopefully that gets re-released.
Oh man,
so
it should. She should be
definitely.
doing that in concert.
I think so. So $7 million for Kylie, $1.44 for this.
yeah.
And what are the lyrics that we know Kylie didn't write? Someone else
Well,
did.
yeah, like a lot of electro stuff from this era, the Kish Mode original is mostly just a machine for delivering a beat and repetitions of a sort of quasi-hypnotic chorus. In this case, two hearts are beating together. I'm in love, woo, I'm in love, woo. Is this forever and ever? I'm in love, woo, I'm in love, woo. Two hearts are beating together. I'm in love, woo, I'm in love, woo. Is this forever and ever? I'm in love, woo, I'm in love, woo. The problem is that the Kylie version moves further away from the electro and more into pop rock territory. And judged by the conventions of that genre, even Phil Collins and the Veronicas would be saying, hey, maybe this is a bit shallow lyrics-wise. Any chance we could flesh out the verses a tad, or at least take out a few dozen of the I'm in love, woo lines?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, but look, you don't want to take advice from the Veronicas,
No,
otherwise.
and there's
Kylie
only
would-
one Phil Collins as well.
Oh, definitely. I mean, if she'd taken the Veronica's advice, she'd probably be finger-slaying Danny Minogue in the music video. So I don't really know.
Sure, there's a market for that, but it's
Yeah.
not really what you want to hang your career on.
No,
is it?
it's not really at all. So, yeah, good. All right, moving on. This is the last number one of the year
Another giant fucking
for 8 weeks.
2 months.
6 weeks this year. Sorry, yep, 6 weeks. 2007. 2 more the next year. It's Timbaland back again, and this time he's teamed up with One Republic for some weak ass bullshit.
Christ
Apologise. So.
This, I swear to God, this year, the quality of the songs is in direct inverse proportion to the amount of time that they were
Good
at
song
the top.
gets number one for 1 week.
Dog
Terrible
shit,
songs
8
go
weeks,
forever. So.
2 months of this fucking crap.
You know, look, this sucks shit. Look, to be fair to Timbaland, he didn't write any of this.
No.
So, look, a hit is a hit, and what Timbaland, sorry, has done is basically he's heard the One Republic song. Because what happens is, for those that don't know the One Republic story, and who the fuck would, is that this was a big hit on MySpace.
Oh, okay.
So they One Republic uploaded this onto MySpace, was massive. Timbaland heard this and just went, oh, okay, this was the biggest song on MySpace at the time. So he thought, I'll just take that song, I'll add a new beat to it. I think he speeds it up slightly and then just does a few he from time to time, and then he releases it as Timbaland featuring One Republic.
Yes.
He gets the number one hit off all of their work.
Yeah, so
He's
it
done-
comes out on his album
Yep.
first,
Yeah.
then they get to use it on their
Yeah.
first album, which comes out
This
after
is
that.
basically just this should just be called One Republic and Timbaland just releasing it on his record
it's
label.
barely even featured because all he really does is production.
It does have a new beat on it. That's about it.
I mean,
so.
that is literally all he does in the song. Go performance-wise, is go hey, 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 as you
Yeah.
said. It's frankly bullshit to put your name before the artist on this one.
Oh, it should
and
be
give
One
yourself
Republic.
a co-writer credit as
Yeah,
well. Even
sure.
Lil Wayne would have at least thrown in a couple of what?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. You know,
This is,
after apologise.
Timbaland's almost stolen this. This is almost
Yes.
Lou Bega, Scatman versus the Hat Man, where
It
Lou Bega
is.
just stole Scatman John's song now that
That's
he's in the
right.
ground and he can't say, I don't want you to do that.
On the other hand, I guess he did sort of resurrect their entire career
Yeah.
and somehow turn this tepid pablum into a number one. So
That's true.
You know,
Because what type of music is One Republic, Tom, apart from boring? Well, look, this is a
me.
quote from the One Republic person themselves. Quote, we're no respecter of genre. If it's a good song or a good artist, whether rock, pop, indie or hip-hop, they've probably influenced us on some level. Nothing new under the sun. We're a sum of a bunch of parts.
you might notice from that quote that is almost
means
scientifically calculated to be the dullest answer
Yeah,
possible.
exactly.
As indeed the name One Republic is almost calculated to be as dull as the name of a band.
What influences you? Oh, pop and rock and hip hop and jazz
Just,
and R,
there's
all this
nothing
stuff.
new under the sun.
Yep.
It's all just stuff that's already come out.
But
which is-
Tom, specific artists who One Republic have cited include Mozart, the Beatles, U2, M83, and Prince.
Christ
Now, this
almighty.
doesn't sound like any of those. Do you listen to
No.
this and think, oh, it's like a U2 and Mozart mashup?
No, I listen to that quote and I think, this sounds like space aliens have taken over some not especially convincing human bodies, masquerading as a rock band for reasons only known unto themselves, and have just Googled popular human band, got the top 5 examples and put, yep, they're our influences.
It's like,
what do you actually sound like? We sound like we took every song off fucking boring ass AOR radio and merged it into one porridgey mass, and, the median song. That's what this song is like. It's like the perfect average nothing between all other songs.
Like, I mean, it's one of those things where it's just like, look, they've called out Mozart. A lot of people don't call out Mozart, so you sort of like go, well, at least they're calling out someone different. But this like, there's no relationship.
No.
Like, it's sometimes I've heard sort of like avant-garde or progressive death metal bands like call out Mozart, and you go, oh, I don't know about that. But then you think about it and go, well, they're doing something that's technically unusual or going in a new territory. So maybe Mozart, not in terms of the down-tuned guitar, the 1,000 notes per minute they're doing, but in terms of the trying to do something new and outside of the box aspect, at least you can go, okay, I can see that. But Mozart and this, even the Beatles and this, or even U2, bland as shit U2, I'm sort of like going, and Prince as well. I'm just like,
M83, they're the only.
And even that, it's like, that doesn't
sound
it
doesn't
like
sound anything like that. I think they were just popular at the time.
Yeah, probably.
That came to the top of the aliens Google.
Yeah,
look, I would describe One Republic as the perfect band for people who cried in terror the first time they heard "She Will Be Loved" by Maroon 5 because of its extreme edginess and society-threatening attacks on the status quo.
Yeah.
That's a joke, but I am still haunted by the image of Adam Levine on my corner in the pouring rain, just out there for weeks at a time, day and night, water trickling over the surface of his unblinking eyeballs as he watches me get changed. Still slightly haunted by that.
Yeah, this is One Republic to, I guess, Maroon 5 is kind of like the Hinder to Nickelback type.
Yes, and as previously noted, Maroon 5 were for people who found Matchbox 20 a bit edgy.
Yeah, exactly. So the edge keeps getting shaved off until you end up with this. Hard to find anything less edgy than this, I guess. But look, so this is One Republic's first single. Their previous record, they'd recorded a full album, which was shelved, and then they were dropped by Columbia Records just a few months before
not
release.
Shelved in the sense of putting it on a shelf. That was pushed up their arse, I believe, by the executives as a comment on what they felt about the music.
Columbia Records decided best not to release this, doing the world a massive favour. Unfortunately, they uploaded this song to MySpace. People were into it, so they were giving it a second chance, thanks to the internet. And they've been churning out boring bullshit for 2 decades at this point. And look, in many ways, Timbaland is responsible for pushing them further than they probably needed to go. But he was just thinking about, how can I get some royalties off this song I didn't write? So look,
did you watch the video for this?
Oh, yeah.
It fits perfectly with the music. There are 5 different versions of this music video. Have you ever heard the expression, why tinker with perfection? Well, it turns out, conversely, that if you're trying to build a combustion engine from decomposing roadkill chunks, then you can tinker with it as much as you like because it's not fucking going anywhere.
Yeah.
This is one of those studio videos in the dullest, blandest possible style.
They're the worst, aren't they?
Well, I mean, even if this was 1982, like even if he'd blown the entire promo budget on coke and were deep into the red on the follow-up album that didn't technically exist yet, at least you would have mustered up a weird stalker romance or some handheld backstage tour footage to intersperse with these tedious cunts twanging out whatever the fuck this is. But nah, it's just a bunch of guys in vests, just in a studio. Not even an exciting studio, just some carpet, just twanging away.
Yeah, I think for me the studio video is the absolute lowest rung
it's
of
the lamest.
videos.
Yeah.
Occasionally you can make it good, Guns N' Roses Patience style, because Slash has got a snake in it, I think.
Yeah, or
and it's in black
if you're,
and white.
say, the Beatles and every single member of the band is overflowing with natural charisma at the prime of their life, maybe.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a couple of decent in-studio ones, but it's few and far between. So, yeah, look, I don't know. The vocalist of One Republic, Ryan Tedder, was signed to a record deal and publishing contract on an MTV singing competition hosted by NSYNC's Lance Bass in 2000. So he won the competition, got a record deal. Quote, 2 weeks later after being on MTV, I was waiting tables, picking up chips off the floor. It turned into nothing. It was all on paper. It wasn't real. It was just a bunch of hype that didn't turn into anything. So
must be
the reality TV balloon has been popped. But look, he dodged a bullet there because Lance, as we know, could have forced him to sing that heart-to-heart song, Facebook official.
Yeah,
So
I mean, or he
could
could
have
have
been a lot
ended up
worse.
being America's Damien Leith.
Yeah, definitely. But I found this completely insane. So Ryan Tedder, who I believe wrote most of,
Yes,
if not
he
all of the
gets
One
sole
Republic
songwriting
credits, he sold his entire song catalogue in 2021 for $200 million.
God damn it.
So look, what the fuck do I know? People seem to love, and this is something I found out on this podcast.
Yeah.
The majority of people love really fucking boring shit.
Yeah, there is such a thing as lowest common denominator or
Yeah.
median taste. Yeah, I mean, Christ almighty. Whoever bought that must have been high on drugs.
Yep.
Oh, who are we kidding, Ben? It was Mark Zuckerberg. We both know it. Obviously, he
Did get
loves
Green Day to
basic
play.
ass music.
Yeah.
A, and identifies strongly with the concept of it being too late to apologise. B, having never accepted responsibility for anything in his entire adult life.
Yeah. He probably has a tattoo to this.
It was the Zuck. He's listening to that on AirPods while he rides his fucking remote control surfboard around.
He'd
Smothered
be on
in,
a Segway, wouldn't he? So.
smothered in fucking white pancake sunscreen as though he's trying to audition for a mime troupe. He's got some issues, that dude.
They've got Timbaland's got 11 million listeners. We know that. Rum Republic's got 32 million listeners, which just makes me fucking depressed.
Yeah.
42 cents for this. There you go.
2 million listeners.
32
Oh,
million.
fuck me.
32 mil.
For Ryan Tedder. Oh,
Yeah.
my
and the
God.
One Republic. So
I don't have a heap of respect for the Veronicas, but there is no way they are 8% as good as this. I would much rather listen to the Veronicas. In fact, I'd much rather listen to Avril Lavigne.
talk me
than
through
this
these lyrics
fucking
though,
song.
Tom. There must be some bangers in it. For $200 million this guy sold his song catalogue for, so it must be good.
Look, when asked in an interview about the song, Ryan, wearing a vest over a t-shirt, gave an answer that was as philosophical and sublime as the music itself. When he was in college, he had a few different girlfriends, and they sort of made him think about apologising sometimes, and he also thought about it later afterwards, and maybe it was also a bit about self-realisation if you think about it. So I guess it sort of generally applies to everyone and isn't really about any one specific... Wake up! Sorry, Ben. Sorry. Some of our audience might be listening to this in the car, and I don't want them to die from listening to the lead singer of One Republic. Incidentally, he also claims that the song was a, quote, huge worldwide hit before Timbaland released it. I would like to see the receipts on that one, because not even your fan-edited Wikipedia page is backing you up that one, Vest Boy.
Well, it was big on MySpace, so I guess maybe people were listening
Big on MySpace.
to it.
Sounds
on
like Facebook official to me. Buddy, you didn't pay shit to listen to things on MySpace, you just clicked a
Yeah.
poorly edited GIF button. Much like Eamon with Fuck You, I Don't Want You Back, this is a dumbass teenage fantasy about the chick who dumped you turning around and asking you out again, so you get to go, oh, it's too late now. I'd take another chance, take a fall, take a shot for you. Oh, whoa, I need you like a heart needs a beat, but it's nothing new, yeah. I loved you with the fire red, now it's turning blue, and you say, sorry like the angel, heaven let me think was you, but I'm afraid it's too late to apologise. Now, astute listeners, e.g. the opposite end of the demographic spectrum to One Republic listeners, might notice that in the space of 6 lines, he's directly contradicted his own facile teenage fantasy. But, of course, if you were listening that closely, you'd already be nodding off and driving your car off a bridge, so I hope you weren't doing that.
Makes me long for the days of Hinder, Tom.
I
That's One
know!
Republic.
Oh, my God,
So
this year was a
here we
struggle.
were
Jesus.
shitting on Hinder just an hour or two ago. And
Yes.
It turns out that things will get a lot worse. Some of the biggest songs not to hit number one this year, Tom.
What's that?
Mika, Grace Kelly, remember that?
Ah, yes.
I want to be like Grace Kelly.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about
He was a one-man
him
Scissor
and that
Sisters.
song. He was a one-man Scissor Sisters, but I can see that song being used in a Just Jeans commercial in 2022. I can sort of see that.
Yeah.
wanna be like
And he had another hit too, like
did,
a
yeah.
Triple J alt radio hit. I can't remember what it was.
So yeah, not too bad. Like probably like it's sort of like an off-brand Scissor Sisters, like a one-man Sisters. But so just by the fact that it's somewhat in that league makes it more interesting than most of the songs
Yes.
that are performed here. So Christina Aguilera, Candyman, also made number 2. I don't know if you remember that one.
That was when she did that weird, restyled herself as like a sort of retro kind of burlesque
Yeah.
1950s thing, like with victory rolls and dressing like it was World War II and shit. That was really weird, but
That
it was
was.
a catchy song.
It
like,
was
yeah.
definitely. Was
Also-
it inspired by the film Candyman? I assume it was. So.
Sure.
Gwen Stefani featuring Akon, The Great Escape, and I assume that has been used in a Just Jeans commercial. Listening to it, Good Charlotte, Dance Floor Anthem.
Fuck, yeah.
Now
We dodged some more
that's
bullets.
fucking terrible. Now, were Good Charlotte ever, and I'm using this in inverted commas, Tom, a legitimate punk band, like a sort of Offspring or a Green Day, or were they always just fucking awful? Because I think I've only heard about... I know the name, obviously, the fucking Madden Brothers. I think I've only ever heard 2 of their songs or 3 of their songs, and they were all woeful. So I just wondered whether they used to be like, oh, we used to be cool and signed to like, an underground
I
label or
assumed
something.
that. I think when I first
Maybe
heard
they're
them,
all-
I assumed... But I think maybe they were the Nickelback of pop punk. They were Nickelback to Green Day's Nirvana.
Also, that only reached 2 or 3. Fall Out Boy, Thanks for the Memories.
Oh, yeah.
And This Ain't a Scene, This is an Arms Race. So people were loving weak pop punk shit at this time. You got
They were.
2
It
Fall Out
was
Boy
a
songs.
comeback for weak punk because pop punk had already happened in '97,
Yep.
and now it was back again with this stuff.
Yeah, so a couple of Fall Out Boy songs, Good Charlotte, and then in the number ones themselves, we had Avril Lavigne, which is, real weak.
going
pop
out
punk,
with Sum
but yeah.
41. too.
Exactly
Yeah.
right. Fergie featuring Ludacris. They did this song together.
I'm sure it was ludicrous.
And also Crystal Waters of 100% Pure Love fame with Destination Calabria. I
don't remember
couldn't,
that
I
one
couldn't
at
remember
all.
that at all, but I had a bit
No.
of a listen today and just said good to see Crystal Waters back. So they're all songs that did make number 1.
Yeah, and as noted, there was, that might be early next year, but there was Untouched by the Veronicas. That only got to number 2 here, but that was their big hit overseas. That was the one that they
Fantastic.
got them their 2 million listeners.
Well, some predominantly shit songs this week.
Big,
but, hey,
big, long periods of
but
bad.
I'm very excited to announce we had no Australian Idol
No!
winners or runners-up or any of that.
Axl
thing,
Rose
so-
demands for reggae
so
were
that
left
was-
unfulfilled.
So that was a positive. So thank you very much for listening. Jump on the Instagram account that we have,
Yes.
Sunglasses at Night.
And if you want to
You
hear
can
the
send
music,
us a message if you want to on the however you send just on the DM us if you want to say anything. And I think next week is Easter, so we might be away for a week.
yes. And if you want to listen to the tracks, follow the YouTube link.
Indeed. So
The
do all that
playlist.
stuff. So cool. Thanks for listening, and we'll be back with 2008. And 2008, Tom, is an Olympic year, so I'm hoping next year there'll be some sort of Olympic-based Amigos Para Sempre type song in there. And if not, might just pen one of my own.
I'm going to look up the mascot and see if it's as good as Vaco from Sarajevo, because I doubt it will be.
Can't be.
Vaco's a legend.
He is. Thank you.
See ya.